ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to another episode on the Gurpurab series on the Shaheedi Bunga YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about the glory of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj. Before we start, however, I just want to do a beinti, a request to everyone, that I was thinking how important it is to talk, because that's what we're doing here right now, aren't we?
Definitely, yeah.
I know, we're just talking. All we're doing is just talking. And how important it is to talk. So I was thinking about this while I was on my way here, was we shouldn't be shy when talking about Guru Sahib Ji, talking about our history. So wherever you get a chance, whenever you get a chance, whoever you get a chance with, I know, whether it's your children, whether it's your partners, whether it's your parents, your friends, your colleagues at work, just talk. Definitely. Talk, whenever you get a chance, just talk. I'm just going to start off with just giving a quick example of how effective it is, because we don't realize sometimes, and I'm just going to share a quick story with everyone. Most of the people from Leicester know that my profession is a driving instructor. So I come across with various different people, meet loads of different people. I remember, I've been in this line of work for about 5 years now. I think it was within the first 2 years. It was an Iranian girl, yeah, from Iran. Yeah, parents had moved over. I think she was born in Iran as well, if I'm not mistaken. But so while we were having a driving lesson, she asked me, she goes that, you know, when you tell us to check the mirrors and to do the signals and all of that, do you do it yourself when you drive? Do you do it yourself? Yeah. And I said, yeah, 100%. Okay. And then she goes, do you really though? Yeah. And I go, 100%. I gotta do it myself. Yeah. Yeah. And then I go, because I firmly believe that practice what you preach. Definitely. Yeah. So if I didn't do it myself, it's not going to have that much of an effect. I could just keep on saying to you, do it, but not me doing it myself. But I do believe that it's not going to have that much of an effect on my students then. Definitely. So everything I say to you, I do myself. And then there and then, a little opportunity to talk about itihas, right? Okay. Like Prachar. Yeah. I go, our Guru Sahib Ji have told us as well, you should practice what you preach. And then she's obviously from Islam, she's a Muslim girl. And then I told her a quick story about Sant Atra Singh Ji. I go, there's a famous saint within our Sikh history called Sant Atra Singh Ji. And there's a quick story about Sant Atra Singh Ji. A mata comes to Sant Atra Singh Ji with her son and says that Baba Ji, my son is addicted to cha. Yeah, he's addicted to cha, and he drinks too much of it, and I need to stop him. So Baba Ji does so. Baba Ji said, Sant Atra Singh Ji said that bring him tomorrow, bring him the next day back, and then Mata brought him back the next day. And then did the beinti, and then Mahapurkh Sant Atra Singh Ji said to the bacha, said that put cha na piya kar. And Mata goes, Babbi kal kat nahi kiya, like she just said yesterday. And he goes, kal ta main bhi peenda hunda si, I used to drink it as well. Main bhi peenda si, hon aaj to baad main bhi chhadti, and now I can say na cha piya kar. And then he stopped drinking cha. I told her this story, and it was obviously we had jokes. It was a bit of a joke, right? And then the next day, we had a lesson, or 2 days after, we had a lesson again. And she comes back, and we didn't even start the lesson. She sat in the car, and she goes, oh, you know, Sant Atra Singh, she couldn't say it properly. She goes, amazing life, innit? And then I go, what do you mean? She goes, I went home and Googled them because I was curious. Yeah. And wow, she goes, their life's amazing. Wow. I thought, you know what, just from that little opportunity, so guys, just talk. Tell people about how amazing our Guru Sahib Ji are. So so you join us today, and we're going to talk about Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj today, the glory of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj. So let's start. I'll pass it over to you then.
I mean, when it comes to Atmi Pasha, I think any Guru Sahib has start from their fathers. Tan Guru Har Rai Sache Pasha Ji. And they have 2 sons, as we discussed in our other podcast. Ram Rai, he's the eldest. Then we also have Atmi Pasha, Tan Sri Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. And there's this one really good Saki that came up, and I shared this with the kids in the camp that we just had at Atmi Pasha. And their reaction is, And this is when it's to do with the Ram Rai ji and the 8th Pasha when they're very young.
Yeah.
And what happens is a Gursikh, he comes to Guru Har Rai Maharaj. Now we thoda na pola pala jasiga, had simple subhana, he's a typical villager. And he goes to Guru Maharaj, he says, Hey Satguru ji, dono sundar sahibzade, जिन्हों बे लोग चित अहलाते ताडे दोने सपुत्र बहुत ही सोने हैं ना उन्होंने देख के दर्शन करके मेरा मन बहुत खुश होता because I see you है ना then he goes to Guru Maharaj यार मैंने एक गल दसो है ना tell me one secret he says कोले सर्वोत्तम बढ़ियाई करो कृपा एहो देहो बताई महाराज मैंने ये दसो इन्हां चो गुरु कौन बनूगा महाराज कुछ बोलते नहीं he's asking them he's going to be the next guru then he goes again and again but महाराज चुप लेंदे कि हम बदेश ते आप ही कब है माना बहुत दूर होंदा है कदे कदे होंदा है ना सुनत होए मन दृढ़ता तो तुसी कृपा करके मैनू दस दो महाराज फेर ही चुप लेंदे कुछ नहीं कहंदे ऐसे महाराज I promise I won't tell anyone I'll keep it secret जद अब गोप ये राखन चाहो मुझ परदेसी इलाका रो मैं बहुत दूर हूँ महाराज दस दो मैं ना he's gonna be the next guru फेर भी नहीं महाराज कुछ नहीं बोले then eventually वो निम्रता बचा के बेनती करता कि महाराज this is the real reason I want to know मन में सिम रहे शरधा ता रहे बेगन विशाल अनेकन टा रहे महाराज मैं बहुत दूर होंदा मसी मसी दर्शन होंदे आ if I know who's going to be the next guru मैं मान करके उन्हां दा सिमरन कर सकां शरधा होवे मेरे अंदर है ना उन्हां नूं याद कर सकदा है हुण दर्शन करके वार-वार उन्हां नूं सिमरा then that's when Satyam Pasha they smile चल ठीक है तू अमृत वेला आ जी and I think you know Sakya then he comes back अमृत वेला then महाराज कहंदे हुण इंदा कर दुआ साहब जादे है ना एक थानी ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ they're reading they're doing their nitnem from Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the Suraj Siga at the time.
So they're both sitting in one place.
Yeah. And they both have their, as we do when we go to Gurdwara, you have the Manji Sahib, Satguru Maharaj da Prakash hunda hai. Then Maharaj says, "Ek soch ka nij kar leho, take this needle, है ना? जाहो तहाँ तुम दर्श करो, पहलो दर्शन कर, बंधन कर, बैठ है तेन तीर, बानी सुनो पठे जोग वीर, बंधन करके है ना नमस्कार करके बानी सुनो, दोनों पासों." And he's like, okay, I'll do that, yeah. Then Maharaj says, but what I want you to do is after you listen to some Gurbani, and get that needle and put it into the leg of that Manji side of the platform and see what happens. When chal theek hai, jo tusi go, hukam sat bachan hai. He does matha take, है ना अमृत वेला होंदा या.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, can you imagine, like, if you were in that situation, Maharaj saying needles, like, someone like me, like, why? Why? What kind of test is this? Like,
And ये खेन हुंदी है ना. And so he does this, and matha take that, he listens to the Gurbani, gets a needle, he goes to Ram Rai first, puts it in, nothing happens. As you can, like me trying to get a needle, putting it in here, nothing happens. That's all okay. Then he goes to 8th Pasha, and as he does so, na, hoto mom sam, sab gad gayi, the whole needle goes through into the arm of the Manji, the whole thing,
wood, the
whole needle. Rahi one kaas beach like you can't take it out, bachchi gwach gayi. And you देखिए, imagine his reaction.
Yeah. So now there, you're thinking, Ram Rai did a kuch nahi hoya.
Yeah.
But Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, it's just gone straight into the wood.
Yeah. And even then you're like, kiya, kaata kiya. And he goes back to something past. Saro gosh darsta hai. And this was Satguru Maharaj, Tan Guru Har Rai Sache Pasha Ji. वो कहते हैं कि जिस भाव में विच संचर जाए, शब्द पठत काष्ट नरमाए, पाहन आद मोम सम होए, गुरता की लायक लख सोए. ये Sadguru Maharaj, the next Guru, they talk about the next Guru, जे दे शब्द दे नाल ही, not even wood, they say even rocks can become soft.
Yeah.
That would be the Gurta Gaddi da Marg. And they say further on, they say, जिनका शब्द विखै अत शक्त होए कठन मन सो पी सुधरत. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ that even ਕਠੋਰ ਮਨ like we say ਪੱਥਰ ਦਿਲ ਵਰਗੇ like ਅਸਲਾ we have no compassion, no ਪ੍ਰੇਮ and so on. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਨੋਂ ਸੁਧਰ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੋਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ.
Like mom is like wax.
Exactly.
Melt like wax.
And this is the example I was using with the kids is like the Philosopher's Stone, है ना. Everyone knows Harry Potter. Philosopher's Stone. And like you have the mythology that any metal that touches it turns it in gold, है ना. This is what I was thinking, like, what can we take away from it? एक गुरबानी होगी, है ना? Like, जेरा मन पहलो सुक्का सीगा.
Yeah.
It starts to blossom.
We mentioned this in the last podcast as well, है ना? That Guru Sahib Ji they've come particularly for the sinners, Papi, Janana Pap, both kita. So I always give the example of Koda Raksh, a cannibal. Rene ke khanda hunda si mas, boil people alive, eat them, है ना? Really big Bob, Bumia Jor Hoga, Sajjan Thak. Stone heart made of stone, है ना? But then after they do darshan of Maharaj and do vichar with Maharaj, Maharaj make them into Mahapurukhs.
Literally, yeah.
They become Mahapurukhs. They become Mahapurukhs, like, and that's just like not a small thing,
No, it's massive.
So that someone, a chor or a cannibal,
Yeah.
Maharaj turns them into a Mahapurukh. And only Guru Sahib Ji can do that.
Yeah.
That's the quality of
And
Guru
it doesn't
Sahib
stop there. Those Mahapurukhs, oh, dujyan nu bhi apne varge bana dete.
Yeah, because that's Bachan Maharaj used to tell everyone ki simran karya kar,
Yeah.
and bakiyan nu bhi simran karya kar.
That's one thing that when it comes to the Paras, the Philosopher's Stone, it has this limitation.
Yeah.
It can only turn whatever touches it into gold. It can't turn into Paras itself.
Yeah.
Maharaj ji Gurbani ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, they go further and say ਪਾਰਸ ਪਰਸਿਆ ਪਾਰਸ ਹੋਏ। ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਉਪਮਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋਤੀ ਜੋਤ ਸਮਾ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਹਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਸ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। Not only do you turn into Kanchan, you turn into Paras yourself. ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮਨੋ ਉਹ ਉਧਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। And that's ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾਲ, that fragrance of ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਨਾ।
That's what Sangat is talking about Sangat, and Sangat is, I think me and my wife, we've had this conversation quite a few times, and at times we've also had like a debate about it.
Okay.
That how important is Sangat within Sikhi? Can you make it on your own? Like in Sikhi, if you want to progress in Sikhi on the spiritual path, can you do it all on your own? What do you think?
Oh, so Sangat is like,
I personally think that Sangat is number one. Sangat is like, if you've not got the Sangat, it'd be really hard.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there are a few Sakya throughout history of Mahapurukhs that have maybe done that on their own. But even then, they've had darshan of previous Mahapurukhs and stuff. But
I think for the armed person,
but Sangat is so important.
Yeah.
And that's something that you need to dwell on, contemplate on,
Definitely.
and try and apply it to your lives. And if we're talking about Sangat, what type of Sangat? Them like-minded. That want to do Simran, that want to go Gurudwara Sahib, that want to talk about Guru Sahib, that want to talk about Sikhi, because otherwise there's so many distractions in the world. You can talk about anything, right?
Yeah, and that's what Maharaj, like we talked about early on, like the purpose of getting together and talking about your Guru.
Yeah.
Aao Sakhi har mel kariya hai na, Gurmukh roop Sakhiyan nal milo, Guru diyan gallan karo na.
Yeah, this is Sangat right now. What we're doing is Sangat. Is Sangat right now. Like even from the previous podcast that we did, I learned so much, so many Sakhi about Guru Amrit Ji Maharaj, Diji Pasha, and then I was able to share that Sakhi with like all the Sangat that comes to Friday Night Sikhi. They were amazed by it, and then I was able to share the Sakhi with my kids as well, because I was running out of Sakhi to tell them my bedtime. So these are helping me along the way.
And Sangat itself, it takes different forms, like, for example, let's say you're having that debate, say Sangat, do we need it or not? But even what you watch, what you consume, that's your Sangat as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And in today's day and age, it's so dangerous.
100%.
Because all, a Gursikh gave a wicked example, In Sikhi, we're taught about the Panj Jot. We say Panj Jot, 5 thieves. You got the Gam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar. Their job is to come and steal your spirituality wealth, spiritual wealth. But with the way he explained it was really good, because we could relate. He goes, another kam hega to come and just put a thought into your mind. So if Gam, lust,
that's it.
He's like, okay, boys, watch this. Right, he'll say to all of his other friends, watch this. He'll come into your mind, put a thought in your mind, and just take a step back and then watch what happens. But coming into Sangat, you get protected from that. And I remember giving an example, there's saying a plug-in Singh's camp here right now, So, and again, Baljinder Singh Ji as well. Go there. I've had a chance to go there. So you've not had a chance to come there, No? Singh's camp is really brilliant for the Singh, especially, But there in the group that I had, I was group leader. But in the group that we had, we were talking about the Panj Jot. We're talking about the importance of Sangat. Do we really think about these things? And then the example that I gave, we talk about Panj Jot being the 5 thieves come and steal from you. So the example that was given was your house where you live. Have you ever thought about, so this is a question that I put to you, that have you or your parents ever thought about putting cameras up or having a CCTV, ring doorbell or anything like that for the protection of your house, right? I'm sure your parents or your dad, or I'm not sure if you might have a little weapon behind the door or something like that. We do things like that. I've scattered them around the house just in case. You know what? You think about these things just in case. We've got CCTV outside to protect ourselves. We've got some sort of Shastra inside to protect ourselves. We're thinking about all that. But then what about the Panjokhra that come and attack your spirituality? What precautions are you taking, or what are you putting in place to save yourselves from them?
Yeah.
It's something to think about, isn't it?
Definitely.
What security can you put in place though that can protect your soul from these Panjokhra? It is doing Sangat.
That's it.
It's doing Simran. Doing Bani. Maharaj have given all these
100%.
These security measures.
बार Gurban jo hunda na Maharaj kehinde main I mean I don't remember the pankti, I don't want to get it wrong, so I won't say, but like main sara sar dekhya jalda ya, you know. And to save myself, you know, bas Guru di shan bhaj ke jandi jaiye, you know. Yeah. Like if you're on fire, you'd run in it, and you go to the water. Yeah. That's the Guru. Yeah. Bhaj ke jandi.
Yeah, definitely.
Bhaj pe saran aayi, you know, bhaj ke jandi.
With so again, like look at your jivan, look at the life that you're living right now, and if you are struggling spiritually, or you're struggling to walk on this path, if you're always questioning, Ajini Karna, I'm not ready for it, I don't want to do that, is look at the Sangat, and then go and find that Sangat, go to the Gurdwara. There's so many resources online, there's so many programs happening around UK, and in Leicester we've got so many things happening. If you want Sangat, it's there, but you just need to go there and just go into the Sangat. Yeah,
a very good example, it just came up whilst you were talking, is I've heard this in Katha somewhere, that like you get different types of fasal, you know. When I go to India, kei fasal mano sholya de hone, you only little bit of water, badhiya fal jandi hai. Yeah. Like a chonna, you have to be drowned in water the whole time. Kal Yug da sama ei hai. You have to be drowned in Sangat.
That's it.
Otherwise,
you have to. It's just one little thing. And like you said, you know, watching what you're doing.
That's a big one.
All it takes is literally, say you're watching, you're wasting time. It's this thing nowadays, and you scroll, the next video on these social media platforms or whatever. Say your platform, the stuff that you see is Sikh related stuff will come up.
That's it.
Yeah. If your gym related stuff comes up, tends to come up or whatnot. But in that, all it takes is this one 10-second clip of something that we're not supposed to watch, not supposed to hear. Then you might think, even for a second, you will think, oh, you know what? No, that's we shouldn't be watching that. Skip away. And then that 10 seconds of watching it, that's the Panjokhra coming. Like, let's put a thought into his mind now.
It's a chance.
Yeah. And very scary with the way the Gursikh explained it as well was, you might think you've forgotten it, but the Panjokhra, don't forget it. They've stored it in a hard drive, and then maybe a week later or a month later, one of the Panjokhra will come and take that out of the hard drive and put it into your mind, and then watch back. They'll sit back and watch. That's so that example is really scary, though. You think, but security measures. We need to put the security measures in place.
Yeah, it's like you say, on jira agni hundi hai, that's about upar nu jana. There's so many janam ki is mal ko mal lagi hai na, kala ho se ho. And one putte passe jana hi jana. Then you have to put the, like you said, like bhaj pe sarna, just run to the Satguru.
Coming back to Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, Guru Har Rai Ji Maharaj explains Gursikh na ki mom dil ho, like
that's the power of the Guru's bachan today. Like that's what we can take away from today's Gurbani je kala hegi. And I think and all of us here, like we experienced it to some extent, where whether it's as katha, whether you're reading your Gurbani, whether it's kirtan, like you experience that, like, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. And anyways,
so indirectly, as Guru Haraji Maharaj there indirectly has kind of, he said to the Gursikh and declared the next Guru is Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj.
That's it. And before we move on to the actual Gurgaddi, which I think, you know, Kavi Santokh Singh Ji and Gurpartap, they've done it beautifully. They go through, you know, Maharaj giving the blessings, how the Sangat react, and how the Sangat celebrate, and how the, you know, the Bhais of course, how they celebrate separately. I think before we do that, we should touch on Ram Rai, you know, and just to build that story for completeness sake, you know, how he goes to Delhi and Aurangzeb and so on. If you want to just touch on that.
So I think we mentioned it when the podcast
very
about Guru Haraji Maharaj.
We were in a bit of a rush. He was right at the end.
Yes. So when Aurangzeb want to meet Guru Haraji Maharaj, but the bachan that Guru Hargobind Ji Maharaj saying that you're never going to meet them, you're not going to have to meet them. Then Guru Haraji Maharaj sent their son Ram Rai, right? But before going, Ram Rai will get scared because they're going to go in front of Aurangzeb, the Mughal king, and in his court where everyone's going to be. And he does a beinti to their father. And then Pitaji, Guru Haraji Maharaj, say to their son Ram Rai that whatever you say, you've got Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj power on your tongue. Whatever you say will become true. Oh, bachan pura go there, and then the 72 miracles.
72, yeah.
So, so Aurangzeb he was fond of seeing these miracles of the powers being used, because he had heard spiritual powers, because they do exist, and he wanted to see them. So he said to Ram Rai, "Show me this miracle." There was many different. I think there's a list of different miracles. If you go to the Gurdwara there as well, in Delhi, where it happened, there's a list of the 72 miracles that happened, and various different ones. And I think one of them is where it was a well. They put a carpet on top of the well, and then put a chair in the middle, and then tell Ram Rai to sit on it. But then they float. They don't go, and then they make themselves small, make themselves big. They might change their roop as well. But anyway, 72 miracles, many different miracles happened. And then what happened at that point was one of the things, he got happy with the miracles, and then he moved, okay, let's move on to your scriptures, let's move on to your text. ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਆ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਕੀ in ਆਸਾ ਕੀ ਵਾਰ, right? They said, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. Then he ਡਰ ਗਿਆ, he got scared in front of everyone, that if I say this, then ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨਗੇ or whatever, ਨਾ. So ਉੱਥੇ ਘਬਰਾ ਗਿਆ, and then he changed the Pangati to Mitti Behiman ki, hai na? Guru Haraji Maharaj found out and then said that Utte Maharaj nu pata lag gaya that he's changed Gurbani, because we talked about how much satkar Guru Sahib Ji gave to Gurbani. Then Guru Haraji Maharaj sent a letter and said, "Jiddar nu bhi muh tu tera udhar nu tor pada, won't ever see you ever again."
That's when he gets banished. And in Delhi he has quite a lot of influence, because everyone ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਰਮਾ ਦੇਖੀ ਸੀਗੀ. And Aurangzeb ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਪੀਰ ਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, seeing the powers that from the house of Guru Nanak Dev. And ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਾਰ ਅਜ਼ਮਤ ਦਿਖ ਰਹੀ, ਵਾਰ ਅਜ਼ਮਤ meaning the miracles, ਦਿੱਲੀ ਪੁਰ ਅਰ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਨਾਥ, not only ਦਿੱਲੀ ਨਾਥ meaning Aurangzeb, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਏ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਪੀਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ. ਦੇਖ ਬਿਸਮਤ ਚਿਤ ਹੋਏ, ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ, ਸਗਲ ਅਜਾਇਬ ਕੀ ਨਸਗਾਤ. And because of this he had his own Sangat and his own little pantha going on as well. So the reason I just want to touch on this, because we got Ram Rai in Delhi, and we got Satguru Maharaj Kirtpur, and now it's going to be the Gurgaddi, and we see how he reacts as well. Right. So Satveं Pasha ji, they realized that ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਕਿ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ for me to leave this body, and they only around 31, which is nothing, isn't it?
Ram Rai.
No. Guru Har Rai Pasha ji. Guru Har Rai ji. They want to give the Gurgaddi, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜੋਤ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ. And they say what they do is they send hukaname across all of India and so on, calling the Gursikhs to get together. The Sahibzade of Guru Amar Das ji, Guru Angad Dev ji, Guru Nanak Dev ji, Bedi, Trehan, Palyan Bans, Guru Baba Buddha ji, one of the ones, they call all the Gursikhs together. And the Sangat, they're wondering, what's going to happen. Because Guru Har Rai ji, one of the Umar bhi, is 31 years old. They don't know what's going to happen. They're like, kahan karhenge, kahan sunawe, em sab milkar baak alawe. And this is when, just imagine, you have all this Sangat, massive Peer, all the Gursikhs. And this is Satveं Pasha ji, doing the praise of the next Guru, who to the Aam Sangat is only a 5-year-old child. That's all they see. And this is what we hear from Guru Haraji Maharaj. Okay, lag sut Shri Harkrishan Bechara, Sarab Sahara Gurta Para. ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ Shri Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਤਾ ਗੱਦੀ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਸਹਿਣਗੇ, ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਤਾਰਨਾ ਆ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਬਿਆਨ ਕਰਦੇ, the ਅਵਸਥਾ ਆਫ 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਕਿ ਹਰਖ ਨਾ ਸ਼ੋਕ ਨਾ ਰਾਗ ਨਾ ਦਵੈਸ਼, ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ they see ਦੁੱਖ and ਸੁੱਖ the same. ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਦੀ ਅਵਸਥਾ, seeing ਮਿੱਟੀ and gold, no difference. ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕੋਈ ਮੋਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਨਾ ਦਵੈਸ਼, they don't have any duality, meaning all they see is just Vaheguru, no Maya, nothing. That Gurmukhan di vaste ke Gurmukh di sam Brahm basara, bas Brahm Akal Purukh Parmeshwar da basara, Vairi vich Mitr vich sara ek. This is what they're saying about their 5-year-old son with the 5-year-old son.
Because I'm just trying to relate even like the tiniest. I've got a 5-year-old son, and yesterday he was caning that dessert that he had in front of me. I wasn't leaving any to anyone else. They're like, I ain't gonna share that. No one. Obviously, it's a Guru Sahib Ji we're talking about. But
you have to remember, that's what the Sangat is seeing.
Sangat is seeing 5-year-old. Mere harga banda jo the hunda. It was like 5 saal da bacha. How's he can be Guru Sahib? But Guru Haraji Maharaj ji bachan that they don't see difference between sona and dust.
That's it. And the Guru Maharaj kari jande hai na. Usto they say, Hangta Mamta Lesh Namo. This person that you see as a 5-year-old, they don't have this sense of self. That I exist, I am. कोई हंकार है ही नहीं ना, ना कोई मान, ना कोई लोभ, ना कोई काम, ना क्रोध इन्हां अंदर है। And this is why Satguru Maharaj, they give those other blessings. They say, Malak lok pralok hai kira. This 5-year-old child that you see, A lok da malak hoga, pralok da malak. Yeah. All the worlds and galaxies, this is a master.
Yeah.
Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj.
Just imagining being there. All the Gursikhs that have got full Shardha in Guru Haraj Maharaj will be listening to Maharaj, and I can just imagine, the hope that is giving you inside, and giving the khushi that I'm just getting just by listening to this.
And I was the same when the first time listening to this.
It's like giving us hope that you know what, we're okay.
Yeah.
We'll get saved. Maharaj will save us.
That's it. Man ushah paida hona ki wow, stand Guru Harkrishan. Yeah, that's it. And then Maharaj kehte ne, they say sakal pant kar be samrat. All the powers of this world are in the hands of this 5-year-old child. Which one? They say panjan karan inho ke hath. The power to destroy, create, sustain is all in their hands.
Yeah.
And this is where Maharaj, they just really, make it clear to the Sangat. कि निज इच्छा ते तान तारा अपने. It's a Guru's इच्छा होती है कि केरा शरीर धारण करना. Whether that's in the form of an elderly person, you have Guru Amar Das Maharaj, Sache Pasha, at the age of 84, that Guru.
Yeah.
That Oi Guru Joti, in a 5-year-old.
In a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Ohi Jot in an 84-year-old,
yeah.
and Ohi Jot in a 5-year-old. And in Sikhi, we've talked about this so many times, especially with the kids at camp. When we go to Sikh society talks, especially for the youngsters, Naujawans, Sikhi is covered absolutely everything, and it's not like you're not bound by age anyway. And these are the perfect examples of it. Yeah. If I remember doing Santya online. So Santya is when you learn the pronunciation of Gurbani, learning how to read the meanings of Gurbani, and doing it online. In that online class. So I'm in there. So at that point, I think I was 35 or something like that. You've got a few youngsters in there, most of my age. You had a few old people in there as well, right? But then you also had a 12-year-old kid in there. And when I used to listen to him doing Bart, I used to be amazed because the pronunciation was so shudd. I used to enjoy listening to him. But then I thought at that point, look, this perfect example. Everyone's age is not. You shouldn't be bound by age, because someone who comes to Friday Night Sikhi on a regular basis said something really sweet, and he said that we're the forgotten ones, because the target audience that Friday Night Sikhi is for is maybe for people that just started the journey, that have come into Sikhi, that are just about coming into Sikhi, or need something and a basic. Friday Night Sikhi is for that, right? Yeah. And they come in, and he said one. He goes, "We're the forgotten ones. They're where we can't. We're at an age where we can't go to certain like institutions or do online classes because we feel like we're too old, right? And when we were young, we didn't pay no attention when we should have, I suppose. But we just used to bang at the Gurdwara, just be naughty all the time. But he goes, now we feel like we're the forgotten ones. But this is. But I got ages in the thing. Don't ever think that it's too late. Perfect example, 5 saal of 84 is wicked, man. Wicked.
Not in the Gurus, then if you want to make even scale it down a bit, Brahm Gyani भी 5 साल दे हुए ने, Bhagat Prahlad ji.
Yep, yeah.
नाम जपो जी, मारा के नाम किंदा जपना के, नाम जप जी ऐसे through Prahlad जपे हो जाए. That's how these kids हैं, उन्होंने जपया इंदा जपो, इंदा भगत. And Shaheed भी हुए ने, Baba Fateh Singh was one.
Yeah, Baba Fateh Singh, वो भी देख लो.
Look at this, it's like this is what Guruji is saying. They say it's a Guru's ichha. What sarir, what form they want to be pragat in. And now we have, this is Guru Maharaj, they're not finished yet. Then they tell the Sangat of the fall of the Darshan of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. I mean, you see, in the Ardas we read every day, Siri Harkrishan Ti Aiya just dithe, Sab Dukh Jai. The Darshan of Guru Harkrishan Ji. This is what Guru Har Rai Ji, Sari Sangat nu kehte ne. Kalmal Kashtan te hoy mochan. Je Shardha atar pekhem pelochan. Je Shardha karke darshan kar lo na of this 5-year-old child. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਪ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਨਮਾਂਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ. All the kast, all the dukh.
All the dukh. Before doing darshan of Maharaj.
Just by having darshan with Shardha.
Maharaj time and time again, from looking at our history, guys, it's so important that we apply this to our lives.
Yeah.
Getting darshan of Maharaj, what does that mean to today's day and age is don't just stop there, like, the Sakhi. Back then people used to go and do darshan of Guru Sahib Ji in their form, right, in human form. You still get darshan of Guru Sahib Ji today. You need to go to the Gurdwara, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj the darshan hunde ne. into your lives where if you're not going on a daily basis, if you just go every Sundays, wicked, that's really good. Keep that up. But just one extra day a week, start it off like that. Holly, you get to a point where you do every day. And I promise you get to a point, if you do it every day, if you missed the one day, it's not going to sit right with you then. You won't feel right. Do that with your family, your kids. Start making it a little daily thing. But it's only if you realize, though, how important it is for your soul, innit? You know, like, a perfect example is this, isn't it? That we eat every day.
That's it.
And we eat 2-3 times a day.
Yep.
Yeah. We carry on eating throughout the whole day. Why? Because this body of ours needs food.
That's it,
for nourishment, or whatever. No? But then how we forget that our soul needs nourishment as well. And what's the nourishment? What's the food for the soul? Is Darshan of Guru Sahib Ji, is doing Simran, is doing Sangat. That's what's feeding the soul. You know?
Yeah.
But
even
that's
then,
so important.
Maharaj go into this afterwards later on. We just talked before the podcast. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj used to cover it towards the end. We'll do that.
We'll do that. But Maharaj here is saying that whoever does Darshan of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, important to know as well that you said Shardha.
That's it.
With Shardha.
That's it.
And with
J.
If you come with Shardha, that's so important too. If you come with Shardha in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji to get a Darshan of your Guru, all your dukh will go away. But guys, that Shardha, that in today's day and age, where people are trying to break that Shardha, and by, there's certain Kathavachaks out there, certain preachers out there, certain people getting targeted, attacked from different faiths, all that stuff, right? Or breaking your Shardha. That's how they're doing. They just break your faith. Ek bari Shardha tut gayi, then it's easy to take them away from the dharma, isn't it?
Shardha bunoni bo akhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so. But all if you look at Itihas, our whole history, all the amazing Gursikhs that come up in our Itihas, all the amazing Mahapurkhs, Jai Singh, Singhaniya, they've been able to achieve what they have done, all because of Shardha.
That's it.
They've had Shardha in Maharaj. Maharaj, you know what? Maharaj will look after me, no matter what happens. I know. But Shardha ek bari tut gayi, and that's something to is something to be wary of. That in today's day and age, people are trying to break your Shardha. You need that realization. You need to realize that people out there to break that faith.
That what you said earlier on is that you need those precautions.
There you go, security measures. It comes back to that, doesn't it?
Yeah. And one of those precautions is this: Guru Daita Hasuno.
Yes.
Learn about your Guru.
And that's how your Shardha builds, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's another. It might go a bit long, but anyway. But that's really important to know.
Yeah.
Maharaj saying Jai Shardha.
That's it. And again, the Darshan of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Kavi Ji, they put this in a Kavit, a poetic meter, and they describe everything. I've only put 2 lines, but the Kavit is big in it for itself. Dukh har let, Sikh banchata ko det Guru, Satnam het lai chetna chitavai, man ke bekar nash kare, ek vargan, tiraj dharam, daya gun ko badavai. Dukh sare nash hone, just by looking at Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Just by looking at them, जो सिखां दे अंदर मन दी इच्छा है कि मैं ये लेना वो भी मिल जाता जस्ट बाय हैविंग दर्शन सतनाम मन विच वसदा है नाम विच बिरती जुड़दी है जस्ट बाय हैविंग दर्शन मन दे सारे बेकार नाश हो जाते एक बार दर्शन करन देना धीरज दया धर्म ये सारे गुण आ जाते जस्ट बाय हैविंग दर्शन Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. I mean, like, when you hear this, then when you do your ardas, Siri Harkrishan.
Next time you say that now or hear that, you'll understand more better what it means, isn't it?
Exactly.
And
hearing this from the Sangat's perspective, Sare the Harani, and then we have the Gurgaddi ceremony where Maharaj 10 prakarma kardene, Nariyal, Panj Paise, Gurgaddi, the Tilak feel on. And this is where Kaviji, they talk about the atmosphere. So you have the Satsangit Guruship that do the Sangat, Gurbani na jodne. But you also have the 22 Korswar at the same time, the armies.
So the 22 Korswar is Guru Haraji Maharaj used to keep 2,200 cavalry with them at all times because of Guru Hargobind Maharaj Bachan.
Exactly.
So they separately celebrate.
Yeah, it just shows that Guru Panth which everyone has their own birti. कई साधु बिरती वाले हैगे ने संप्रदाय में मिलदा है ना एंड कई मानो सूरमताई वाले है ना होर थोड़े रजोगुण वाले पासे मिलदे एंड ओ भी मारने प्रवान कीता everyone has their own place the problem is when we get तू भी मेरे पासे fit them in one box that's the problem but this is what they do है ना and now the Gursikhs है ना सत्संगत संगत विच ਹੋਤ ਪਏ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਵਿਸਾਲਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਆ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਸਤਤ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ, ਨਮੋ ਸਕਲ ਕੀਨਸ ਨਿਕਾਲਾ, ਵਾਰ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ। ਗਾਵ ਹੈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਰਬਾਬੀ ਗਾਣੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਉਸਤਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੁਣ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਹਿੱਤ ਕਰ ਕਲਮਲ ਹਣੇ, ਮਾਨ ਉਸਤਤ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਾਪ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਅਦਰ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸੂਰਮੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਹਾਊ ਡੂ ਦੇ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟ? ਝਲਮਲ ਚਮਕਤ ਝੂਲਤ ਝੰਡਾ, ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਨੇ, ਦੇ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਭਈ ਬੰਦੂਕਨ ਸ਼ਲਕ ਪ੍ਰਚੰਡਾ, ਜਿਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਾਇਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਨੇ, all the guns and firing in the sky in happiness। ਤੁਝਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਧੁਨ ਸੇ ਤੁੰਕਾਰੇ, ਵਾਰ ਨਗਾਰੇ ਵੱਜਦੇ ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ, ਬਾਜ ਉੱਠੇ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਉਚਾਰੇ, ਜੁਕਾਰੇ ਗੂੰਜਦੇ ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ। ਇਮ ਲੱਗ ਸੁਤ ਕੋ ਗੁਰਤਾ ਦੈਕ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰੀ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਬਦੈਕ ਹੈ। ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਵੇ all ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮਨਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰੇਟਿੰਗ। That's the atmosphere at the time.
That's amazing, that is.
Yeah. And मैं पहली बार सुना था ये कदे नहीं सुनने को मिलता है ना।
No, we don't. We don't. Yeah, you don't. You don't get to hear that. Look how much detail that's in. So you can just imagine it. Just close your eyes. Imagine that scene.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And this comes later on as well. You get to see that because Kavi ji, they're emphasizing this, that this is the bloodline of Shemi Pasha. Dal Panjan Gursurma.
Yeah.
That Pasha that had the power to destroy armies, you know. This is a great grandson.
Yeah.
And we see it later on as well. We see this side of Atmi Pasha as well.
Okay.
Which you don't usually get.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
But now, so we have the Gurgaddi going on. And the reason we touch on Ram Rai is because now we get to see the jealousy he has.
Yeah.
You have to remember, Atmi Pasha, they're 5 years old, but ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੰਭੀਰਤਾ, that deepness to their personality, like it can't be said. But yeah, Ram Rai, he's around 10 years older, so he's 15.
Yeah.
Despite being older, you really get to see the shallow nature he has.
Yeah.
Like, very shallow minded. And this is what he's got his sons with him, his sevaks. And ਉਹ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮੈਂ ਅਬ ਕਾਨ ਸੁਣੀ ਬਹੁ ਪਾਸ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਬ੍ਰਿੰਦ ਹੈ ਆਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਹਨਾ। ਕਾਬਲ ਔਰ ਕਸ਼ਮੀਰ ਤੇ ਆਦਿਕ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿਸਾਲ ਆਦਿਕ, ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ they come to do darshan of Guru
from all over, yeah.
ਭੀੜ ਰਹਿ ਔਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਭੀੜ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ, ਹਨਾ, ਕੀਰਤਪੁਰ ਵਿੱਚ। ਨਿਜ ਕੀਰਤ ਉਜਲ ਗਾਤ ਹੈ। And then he's got that jealousy within him.
Yeah.
I should be on the Gurgaddi. And what he does is he goes this far that he starts sending hukaname, saying that I'm the true Guru. Apna daswand minnu do. And this is what he says. He puts his signature at the end of it. He's like, Guru ki khushi ho hai tum upar, karo kamna pure hain se. If you give your daswand to me, come to me, Guru Nanak di khushi hogi thade te.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then he says, Shri Harkrishan smeep na jana. Guru Harkrishan de passe nahi jana tusi. If you do, kharj sikhi te darbar. And you'll be casted out of Sikhi. Panth to shake again.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah. So he's making his efforts to try and suppress the praise of Guru Harkrishan ji. But it's like
again trying to break people's Shardha there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's trying to break, and he's trying to
And it's like you got a candle. It's nothing compared to the sun.
Yes.
And that's the upma of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. It keeps on spreading, and ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਕੀਰਤ ਪਸਰੀ ਪੁਰ ਘਰ every single house, Guru Harkrishan Maharaj the gun gaunde ne, and for a reason.
Being a fraud there, using Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's name.
Yeah, 100%.
Saying he's trying to, ਧੋਖਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ।
Not only that, we see that in ਇਤਿਹਾਸ that after Panjਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਬੀੜ ਰਚੀ ਆ, you had a lot of ਕੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ comes in. They tried the right, they used the name of Guru Nanak, Prithvi Chand Varge and so on, to show that we're the Guru. And for that same reason, ਛੇਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, sometimes ਉਹ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਉਚਾਰਦੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ। Because they would use Mahalla Satwan, Sheman, and so on.
Yeah.
Satguru Maharaj ne ucharan ਕੀਤੀ।
So that's one of the reasons why. Because that question comes up quite a bit from children, especially. That how come Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj, Guru Har, their Bani is not in Guru Granth Sahib Ji.
It's for that very reason, to keep the Sangat aware.
Yeah.
But anyways, then we have every single household they're praising Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj for a reason. And again, it's the darshan, the power of the darshan. Sankat par har darshan kar har. The Guruship they're saying ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਚੱਲ ਜਾ, ਵਾਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਐਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਗਿੰਗ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੇਜ਼, ਬਟ ਸੁਣ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਏ ਦੁੱਖ ਪਾਵੇ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਭਦੀ ਗੱਲ, ਇਟਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਤਪਦਾ ਆ, ਹੀ ਕਾਂਟ ਸਟੈਂਡ ਇਟ, ਐਂਡ ਹੀ ਮੇਕਸ ਅ ਪਲਾਨ। Again, this is, we see his nature, was said early on. His plan is, okay, I need to get Guru Harkrishan Ji in Delhi, in front of Aurangzeb,
right?
ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਿਰਣਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ Aurangzeb can make me the Guru.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is what his plan is. He says, ਕਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਆਦਿਕ ਬਢਾਈ। I'll say, Because Aurangzeb, he likes to see karamat.
Yeah.
Okay? He's saying on the Gaddi of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. You need to see it for yourself. That's what he wants Aurangzeb to do. We realize later on Aurangzeb's a lot smarter than that.
Yeah.
But anyways, then he says, two things can happen. He said, if Guru Harkrishan Ji come to Delhi and meet Aurangzeb, फिर सिख नहीं उन्होंने मानेंगे करके he went against the bachchan of Satveं Pasha, Naam Malesh ko darshan de hai. You never to meet Aurangzeb, hai na?
Yeah.
But then I won in that way. If they don't come, I've also won because I can send Aurangzeb's army and get them. Shaho kar hai tab zor badhera. Risk or san pathav hai fira. We can capture them that way as well. So that's his plan. That's his thing.
Right.
And then eventually what happens is he goes to Aurangzeb. He's in this big sabha. And remember, Ram Rai unu mande log. To the point where Aurangzeb, he had a special gaddi in his court for Ram Rai.
For Ram Rai.
Yeah. Whoa.
So he got obviously impressed with all the Gothics and stuff.
Yeah, Ram Rai had his own army as well from Aurangzeb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. And you get to see the relationship they have. It's actually very close. Aurangzeb, he finds out that Satveं Pasha, they've left the world. And Gurgaddi is gone to the youngest son.
Yeah.
जिंदा अफसोस करीदा ਉਹ ਇੰਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਵਿਦ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਏ ਹਾਲ ਚਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਸੋ ਗਏ ਇਸ ਮਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਗਏ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾ then they say Aurangzeb says तुम न मिले तीर तिन जाए why didn't you go and meet them ਰਾਮ ਰਾਏ this is what he says ਉਹ ਛਪਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ Aurangzeb ਕਿ the Gursikhs they're doing our ਨਿੰਦਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੇਮੋ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਲੇਸ਼ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ मेल सदोष उचार तुम्हारो after meeting you know up just सब है बहुत विस्तारो साडी दुनिया दी निंदा हो जांदी है सिखां दे विच है ना and then he says he gets to the point he said पर ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਾਮਾਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਅਜ਼ਮਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ and I want you to call them here ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੁਲਾਓ and Aurangzeb he knows and there's a reason he's the Mughal empire you know only with deceit killing his father his old brothers he got there and he starts to seeing similarities between himself and Ram Rai.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what he says. He said, this all bicharta ke jim hoyo has southern hamar, just as I did. That happened in my family. Raj karyo nij pratan mar. By killing my own family, I got to this place where I am. Then sagre jag member. Arinda ye ede manch chali janda. He understands what Ram is going through. But he says to Ram Rai, the only way we can call Atmi Pasha is through doing a beanati. So if I send anything, gal nahi banni. So he said, we have to get a Gursikh to do beanti to call Atmi Pasha. But we know Atmi Pasha antarjami, I'll go into that later on. So he calls Raja Jai Singh.
Okay.
Now, Mirza Raja Jai Singh. The Mirza Raja meaning he was the most highest ranking general at the time of Aurangzeb.
Right.
And I'll say like to those watching, just put his name into Wikipedia. He's got so much history of itself.
Right.
And he's a very big, character in the Mughal Empire.
Okay.
So that's on one side. Aurangzeb is his boss basically, very simply put. But man which Guru Nanak Dev Ji de वास्ते Shardha भी बहुत रखता है.
Right.
Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji de वास्ते प्रेम भी बहुत हैगा. So he's in a sticky situation. You got your boss saying, call your guru. Yeah. And he's got bad intentions.
Yep.
And the other side that the man is Shardha hai. Achme paas Tan Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji. Yeah. So eventually what he does is he sends a letter, and we'll go through the letter as well. So he sends a messenger to Kirtpur Sahib, and again I just want to go through this. Remember, Guru Maharaj di usta sare kite ho jandi hai. So Sangat in Delhi, they want to do darshan, but they've only heard about Guru Harkrishan Ji. Same with this messenger, Raja Jai Singh. He's only heard about the darshan of Guru Harkrishan Ji, but he's not seen Guru Harkrishan Ji, and this is what he sees when he gets there.
So so the messenger's taken the chitti, the letter to Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj at Kirtpur Sahib. Yeah.
So the messenger from Raja Jai Singh. And the moment he gets there, he just sees this. He says, "Charhon or chalawe karte, torat chavar hans jan charte." From all four directions, you have Gursikh doing char sahib on the seas of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj. And the messenger, he sees it as if a gathering of hans swans. Sadhguru Maharaj sees. That's what he sees. Sri Harkrishan birajat baise Brahm Gyan ki murti jaise. He's like, even though just from the radiance of the face, in that like Brahm Gyan itself, if it was personified, if it was a person, it would be in the form of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Shardha Chand Sapuran Badan. Just as in winter, you have the winter sun, kinna sona lagda hai. Maharaj, the radiance on the face is just like that. Hot Chandani Muskatan, and you see Sadhguru Maharaj smiling. Ona de Sundar Dan, they have their own radiance as well. And this is what he sees.
So the messenger is saying all this,
Yeah.
That this is what he's seeing.
This is what he sees.
It sounds like to me he is melting like wax, which Maharaj's quality is.
The darshan of Satguru Maharaj. And Sikhian Kir Balochan, then he looks around, he sees Satguru Maharaj, then he looks at the Gursikhs as well. And he sees all the Gurus, they're just staring at Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Manho ne har char chakor, you have the chakor, you know, it's like, it's actually the national bird of Pakistan.
Yeah.
What it is the whole night it just stares at the moon.
Yeah.
And during the day, just ka runda, okay, I want to see the moon again.
Yeah.
And just as the chakor, the Gursikhs just staring at Satguru Maharaj, praying na, Tan Guru Harkrishan Maharaj, Tan Tade Darshan. And the messenger, he realizes this. Okay, Balak Roop Ang Sokumara, hai ta Balak da roop.
Yeah.
Hai ta Sundari bo lag diya. Kar Bridd Bodh te Mehat Udara, just by looking at the, you know, Chera, the Darshan, in that lag ke the buddhi, the intellect is that of a, you know, a really wise and elderly person.
Right.
That same intellect that Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that Jot, Guru Joti, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਸਦੀ ਹੈ. And ਉਹ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. Then eventually they give the letter. And he reads out the letter. And this is what is written in the letter. And he announces it. He said, Jaipur mein jis ki rajadhani naam nirpit Jai Singh Sawai. In Jaipur, so Jaipur, Raja Jai Singh, he had his own city, but he mainly stayed in Delhi or working with Aurangzeb because he had such a high rank, where he had his own bagh, his own bungalow and so on. But anyways, he said, Raja Jai Singh, he's written this letter to you, Tan Guru Harkrishan Sache Pasha. Kart lal sare de mahani. Raja Jai Singh had lots of Shardha for you. Under last, he wants to have your darshan, Satguru Maharaj. Dij hai aaye dars isthani. Maharaj, tusi kirpa karke darshan baksho apne. Dilli pur ki sangat bhari, karho nihal, aap ek bari. Maharaj, Delhi ਵਿੱਚ ਸੰਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਓ, ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ. But Raja Jai Singh, he's very transparent. So at the end, he mentions Aurangzeb. Okay. Yeah. He says, ਕਹਿਓ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਅਬ ਰੰਗ ਨੇ ਐਸੇ ਕਿ Aurangzeb ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਕਾਰ ਹੋ ਜੈਸੇ ਕੈਸੇ, whatever, like ਜੈਸੇ ਕੈਸੇ, whatever way you can, make sure you also bring them to me as well. Okay. So he tells everything. Man di Shardha ਵੀ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, talks about the Sangat as well, but he also talks about Aurangzeb. He says everything. Now, as you can imagine, Mata ji of Guru 8th Pasha, Mata Kishan Kaur ji, they saw getting worried, Sangat saw getting worried. That they realized that Ram Rai di koi sajish hai, it's his plans. Yeah. But then look at the 8th Pasha. This is the first time the Sangat get to see this side of 8th Pasha, that, you know, other side of 8th Pasha. Satguru Maharaj with confidence to the messenger, right directly to his face, na hum Malesh ko darshan de hain. ਅਸੀਂ ਮਲੇਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਹੋਏ ਸਮੀਪ ਤਿਸ ਕੋ ਨਹਿ ਲੈ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੇੜੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਉਹਦੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇਹੀ ਨੇਮ ਪਿਤ ਕੀਨ ਹਮਾਰੇ, ਇਹੀ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਰੱਖੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਹਮ ਵੀ ਉਰਦਾਰ, ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ. And then Maharaj Haji, they carry on, they say to the messenger again, ਗੁਰ ਕਰ ਤੇ ਅਜ਼ਮਤ ਜਹ ਚਾਹੂ ਤਿਸ ਹਿਤ ਗਇਓ ਭਰਾਤ ਪੁਰ ਮਾਹੂ. So if the Bhadsha, ਦੇਖੋ, in the lecture, there's no mention of what Aurangzeb wants, if he just wants to see azmat, you know, miracles, he's got Ram Rai. ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਔਰੰਗ ਚਾਹਤ ਦੇਖਾ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਮਾਤ ਤੇ ਯਕੀਨ ਵਸ਼ੇਕਾ, ਕਰਾਮਾਤ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ.
So, you know, you mentioned previously as well, like Karamat dekh ke Aurangzeb's really impressed and all that. But in Sikhi, Karamat, like, is not like a big thing.
It's nothing.
There's nothing in it. Like, they exist. They exist. The spiritual powers do exist. People do have them. But we have to understand one thing. What Guru Sahib taught us is that it's nothing. It's not like a big thing. So it's for, if you ever, it's unfortunate, isn't it? You hear of cases, certain cases or whatnot. Like, you get these fake babbe, fake sants that might have some sort of spiritual powers with them. They'll show them spiritual powers, and then people get trapped. But when you think, wow, this person's got spiritual, he must have something. But see, it's not nothing. I know.
That's what comes up in Gurbani and Santa Mahapurusha. They constantly say that Riddhiyan Siddhiyan, they come very early on when you walk onto this path of, you know, bandagi and so on. Bo jaldi aa jande hai. That's only the beginning. Maharaj ਵੀ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਿੱਧ ਸਿੱਧ ਸਭ ਮੋਹ ਹੈ, ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਵਸੈ ਮਨਾਏ. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦਾ ਮੋਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ I got all these powers and so on, ਪਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ they become this ਰੁਕਾਵਟ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦਾ ਹੈ. And then spiritually you don't progress, you just stay at that stage, showing your powers off, ਸੰਗਤ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੈਸੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਾਜ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਏ ਸੀ.
So from here it sounds like that Maharaj, the way they're saying it is like, so what if he's got karamat? ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗੀ, ਉਹ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਰਮਾਤਾਂ ਜੇ ਦੇਖਣੀ ਆ. Aurangzeb want to see miracle happening, ਉਹ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਫਿਰ. So it just sounds like there, man, it's not a big thing.
Exactly. And hearing these words from 8th Pasha, the Sangat, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਵਿਚਾਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਟਲ ਸੁਮੇਰ ਟਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੈਸੇ, just as you have the Mount Everest, you can't move it. The biggest mountain. सतगुर बाग अचल नीता, दैट्स हाउ यू हैव 8वें पातशाह दा बचन कि देखो छोटी उम्र है ना इन्ने बड़े बड़े वचन करते हैं ना, इस बात से but then the messenger he requests है ना, he says to Maharaj राजा जय सिंह वो तो ਤੁਹਾਡਾ प्रेमी हैगा, he wants your दर्शन, संगत भी बहुत हैगी, I know there's so much संगत, जब दिल्ली पर प्रवेश हो जाए संगत सगरी दर्शन पाए, संगत ਨੂੰ भी दर्शन हो जाएंगे। and this is where you get to see सतगुरु महाराज है ना प्रेम ਦਾ ਸੁਭਾਅ, ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਵਸ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਨਹੀਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਤੇਰਾ ਵਸ ਅਗਮ ਅਗੋਚਰ ਰਾਜਾ, hey ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, everything's in your control, everything that happens है ना, you're all powerful, you are the creator, you are everything at the end of the day, ਪਰ ਤੂੰ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਕਾ ਬਸ ਤਾਂ ਭਗਤ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਹੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਤਾਣ ਤੇਰਾ। and that's what Kavi ji says, they said Raja Jai Singh what he's been able to do with 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ is ਬਿਨਾਂ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਡੋਰ ਕੇ ਸਾਥ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਰੂਪੀ ਡੋਰੀ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਬੰਨ ਲਿਆ, ਬੰਦਮਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਗਨਾਥ ਜਗਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਥ ਮਾਲਕ ਆਫ ਦਿਸ ਵਰਲਡ ਆਲ ਦ ਵਰਲਡਸ, ਉਹਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਵਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਏ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਲੋ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਵਾਂ, ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਵਾਂ, ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੰਨੀ ਆ, not Aurangzeb। and then like I said the great grandson of ਛੇਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, this is them getting ready to go to Delhi, again I've never heard this myself before, what they do is ਕੁਛ ਸੈਨ ਗਮਨੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੈਨਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ get the army with them ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਬਸਤਰ ਮਹਿ ਸ਼ੋਭਤ ਸੁਰਨ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਬਸਤਰ ਸਨਦਬੱਧ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਭਇਓ ਕੂਚ ਧੌਂਸਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਕਾਰਿਓ, ਉੱਚੇ ਉੱਚੇ ਨਗਾਰੇ ਵੱਜਦੇ ਨੇ, ਬਲੀ ਤੁਰੰਗਮ ਦਲ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰੇ, ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਹੋਰਸਿਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਰਸਿਸ, ਫਰਰਾ ਫੁੱਟਿਓ ਚਾਰ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ, ਚਾਰੋਂ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਿਸੀ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉੱਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਝੂਲਦੇ।
You never heard that ever? Have you ever heard?
ਚੱਲਿਓ ਅਗਾਓ ਸ਼ੁਭਦ ਮਹਾਨ at the right of front you have 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ
leading Dom,
ਹਾਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਸ਼ੋਭਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਮਹਾਨ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ।
Can you imagine Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj? I've never heard that myself before either. They're leaving to go to Delhi with an army, with weapons, with horses.
ਨਗਾਰੇ ਵੱਜਦੇ ਨੇ,
ਨਗਾਰੇ ਵੱਜਦੇ ਨੇ, ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬs.
This is Kavi ji emphasizing that this is the bloodline of Dal Panjan.
And we've never thought about it like that. If they're great grandson of Guru Hargobind Ji Maharaj, why wouldn't they be like this?
Exactly, 100%, exactly.
Yeah.
And
we just limit our mind that as a child guru, a child. But you, as the Guru Sahib, we have to look beyond that.
And that's what this emphasizes. Learn about your guru. And this is nothing. What we're doing, this is just like talk matter. Two random fools getting together.
Definitely.
On ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਥ ਕਿੰਨੇ look, you got the Gyanis as sin at work, isn't it? ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ and so on. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੋਰੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਵਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮਾਰ
ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀ ਆ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਮੋਰੇ ਰੱਖੋ। Anyway, so Satguru Maharaj, they're getting ready, you know, with their Sangat and so on. And they're making their way to Delhi. And what happens is, as Satguru Maharaj and the Sangat, they see this, you know, Sena ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, the Darshan Guru 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, and right up front leading everything, you know. And what everywhere Satguru Maharaj would go, the Sangat would do ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਰੁਕ ਜਾਓ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਦੀਵਾਨ ਲਾਓ, ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦਿਓ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ। And the Sangat, they keep on getting together and together. ਕਾਬਲ ਔਰ ਪਸ਼ੌਰ ਕਸ਼ਮੀਰ ਇਤਿਆਦਿਕ ਦੇਸ਼ ਨੇ ਨਰ ਪੀਰ, ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੀੜ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ wherever Guru Ji go during their travels। ਸੰਗਤ ਆਵਤ ਕਈ ਹਜ਼ਾਰ, ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਰਾਵਰ ਚਾਹੇ ਉਦਾਰ, ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸੁਣ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪੁਨ ਕੀ ਮੁਕਾਨੋ, ਇੱਥੇ ਰੁਕ ਜਾਓ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਲੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੋ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਭਿਰਾਮੋਗੇ, ਹੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਡਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਜਾਣੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਬਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਐਂਡ ਐਜ਼ ਵੀ ਨੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਵਸ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਐਵਰੀਵੇਅਰ ਦੈਟ ਗੋ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਫॉर द ਸੰਗਤ। And again Kavi ji, they describe the scene so beautifully, ਨਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਮ ਕੀ ਮੋਹੇ ਕਾਮਨਾ ਪੂਰੀ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਮਨ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਰੈ ਬਿਗਨ ਗਨ ਦੂਰੀ, ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ all the obstacles in my life ਹੈ ਨਾ, all the suffering ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮੁਝ ਸੁੱਤ ਦੀਜੇ, ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਨਾ, ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਮਮਤਾ ਨਤਾਂ ਭਰੀ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ fill my house with wealth, someone says that। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤਨ ਕੋ ਕਸ਼ਟ ਬਿਦਾਰ ਹੋ, all the rogues on my body ਇਹ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਸ਼ਤਰੂ ਗਨ ਨਿਵਾਰੋ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ get rid of my enemies। ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਆ, these things ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। Kavi ji mentioned those as well.
I'm in the line with
all of us like this line. You go, I want to be more wealthy and so on, and I want a bigger car.
पैसे दे दो, गड्डी दे दो, motorcycle दे दो।
This is like us getting a chump and trying to feel the smundar with it. There's nothing. Tomorrow these are nothing. But ये महंगी
वस्तु। ये खुश हो जाते हैं हमारे लाल चल रहा है, हाँ ये खुश हो जाते हैं, we're happy with that। But then you got virle, the rare ones that come and ask for the real thing।
The real thing, ਜੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੰਗਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਨਾ, ਮਾਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਤ ਨਾਮ ਕਹੇ ਜਾਚਤ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਰਲੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਾਮ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸ ਜਾਵੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਪਦ ਪੰਕਜ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਵਸ ਜਾਵੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਨ ਮਗਨ ਰਹੀਏ, ਕੋਈ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਹਨ।
You know thinking about this, is if it was happening back then, it's happening today as well.
100%.
You go Darbar Sahib jao, even forget about Darbar Sahib for a second, like Punjab, all the apne chota ja shahr Leicester, which the Gurdwara Sahibs that we go to, when there's a special there's a Gurpurab, not even a Gurpurab, forget, ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, imagine what each individual is asking for. They're asking for all that. Maharaj ਅੱਗੇ Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਖੜ ਜਾਂਦੇ, they come and stand in front of Maharaj, fold their hands and then start asking for that. Also will ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, the same thing, isn't it?
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ and they do all these ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਹਨਾ, and ਧਰ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਕਾਮਨਾ ਜੈਸੀ, and how do they get them? Just from the darshan. ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਪੂਰ ਹੈ ਸੀ, ਬਸ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. Again what they emphasizing again is that ਜਿਸ ਡਿੱਠੇ ਸਭ ਦੁੱਖ ਜਾਏ ਹਨ. The darshan of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. But eventually what happens is, so Guru Maharaj ਉਹ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਵਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਹਨਾ, everywhere they go ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਦਵਾ, but the messenger he starts getting eager. Okay. ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਕੀਰਤਪੁਰ ਤੇ ਜਬ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਕਦੋਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਨਿਕਲੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਹਨਾ, ਕੀਰਤਕ ਦਿਵਸ ਮੁਕਾਮ ਦਾ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਦਿਨ ਬੀਤ ਗਏ ਹਨਾ,
ਕੀਰਤਪੁਰ ਤੋਂ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਦੂਰ ਆ.
Exactly, yeah, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਦਿਨ, we may get there in a few days, ਉਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨਾ. ਕਰੋ ਹੋ ਪਾਓ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਕੋਈ ਐਸਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਕਰੋ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਗ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਦਿਨ ਬਿਤਨ ਜੈਸੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਾ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸੋਚ ਲਓ ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਈਏ. ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ come up with a plan. What they do is, 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ began ਤਹਿ ਸਿਕਤਾ ਥਲ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਹੈ. What they do is, as they are traveling, they see this place with lots of sand, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ they get off their horse, they go towards there. ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਚੱਲ this ਥਲ ਬੈਸ, they sit there with the sun, where the sand is, start getting the sand together with their hands. And what the Sangat see is ਖੇਲਣ ਲੱਗੇ upper sister ਜੈਸੇ, they say ਉਹ ਬਾਲ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਵਾਂਗ ਖੇਲਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ. that's what the Sangat see. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ. ਸਹਿਤ ਬੇ ਭੂਖਨ ਕੋਮਲ ਹੱਥ, ਕੋਮਲ ਕੋਲੇ ਹੱਥ, small hands, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ is getting the sand together. And they think, oh, ਬਾਲਕ ਲੀਲਾ ਕਰੀ, just as kids play, that's what Guru Ji is doing. And what Maharaj do is, they get ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਡ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਤੇ ਖਰੋ ਕਰਾਏ. And this is what the ਬਚਨ they say, ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਮਕੋ ਹੇਰਿਓ ਚਾਹ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਥਾਨ ਲਗੋ ਚਲਿਆ. Whoever wants my darshan ਇੱਥੇ, do darshan of this pile of sand. Then they say this, ਕਰ ਹੈ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਸੀਸ ਨਵਾਏ, ਭਾਵਨਾ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੀਸ ਨਵਾ ਆਪਣਾ, ਖਰੋ ਹੋਏ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਾਵੇ, ਸੋ ਨਰ ਹਮਰੇ ਪਾਸ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਵੇ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜੂਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਸ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਜੋ ਹਮ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਭ ਵਿਸਾਲੇ, ਇਸ ਥਲ ਦਰਸ ਹੈ ਲਹੇ ਸੁਖਾਲੇ. ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਾਭ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ. ਐਂਡ ਟੁਡੇ ਵੀ ਸਟਿਲ ਹੈਵ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਇਨ ਦਿੱਲੀ. ਉਹ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ. I was just listening to Katha that they were trying to get rid of the Nishan Sahib, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਾਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, but they left it in the darbar. Okay. Yeah, so ਬਾਹਰ ਵੱਡੇ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿ. Yeah.
Why would you get rid of it?
I don't know.
Why would you get rid of that?
But anyways, that's ਦੇਖੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਲੀਲਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ. Yeah. They're just watching, they're like, oh ਨਿਆਣੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ, but ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ. And then eventually we got Panjokhra Sahib, the village of Panjokhra, where you have Chajju Chivar. Do you want to touch on that one?
Chajju, so when Maharaj reached there, there's a famous Pandit there called Lal-Chand. So this Pandit is full of hankar, and wherever he travels, wherever he's going, he's got a big cart with him behind, a cart full of books, kitabs, granths, and that represents him winning debates. So he would go have charcha with someone, have a debate with someone, win that debate. And back then there was like an unwritten rule that if you won the debate, you take all the grants of them. It reminded me of Pokemon cards when we were kids. Or Pogs and that, which you know. But he'd win the debate, take all the grants of them. So he had a massive cart full of them, and he'd walk around that showing off.
That's it, yeah.
He heard that Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj are here. When loads of Sangat went to go meet him, start getting jealous, right? And he starts getting jealous, and then he hears that the name is Krishan, Harkrishan, na ta idan da na ta khada rakhiya hoya, has he even got any knowledge, has he got any gyan? I'm going to go and do a charcha with them, I'm going to go and debate them, and I'll show everyone that they're fake, nakli hai wo. And fir oh sara they get together, aake darshan karte hai, and going to Maharaj with that intention. Guru Sahib Ji are all knowing. Sara pata Maharaj, so Maharaj are going to do. So he goes that if your name is in your name there's Krishan, tell me the arth of Gita.
So he says to Guru Maharaj that Krishan ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਦੁਆਪਰ ਦੇ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਗੀਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲਿਖੀ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਆ. Your name is Shri Guru Harkrishan.
Harkrishan, yeah, Harkrishan.
ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਬਿਗਰ ਦੈਨ ਦੈਟ। ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ, ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੁਰੂ ਆਖਵਾਇਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ। Then he said ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੀਤਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਲਿਖੀ ਆ ਨਾ, I got a few questions on that. So if you answer it, ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਮੰਨ ਲੂਗਾ।
ਫਿਰ ਮੰਨ ਲੂਗਾ।
ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮੰਨੋ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ। But this was Guru Maharaj ਉਹਨਾਂ
ਲਿਖਿਆ in there is written ਹੈ ਨਾ, in the Maharaj saying that ਮੰਨੋ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ।
Yeah, this was Guru Maharaj is ਦਾ ਵਿਚਾਰ। We see that, you know, ਗੰਭੀਰਤਾ ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕੋ ਦੁੱਖ ਹੱਥੇਂ ਬੁਲਾਵੋ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚੱਲ ਇਹਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੁਲਾ ਲਓ। ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ, ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ। ਇਹਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੰਨੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਸਿੱਖ ਉਪਕਾਰ ਕਰਤ ਬਿਦਤਾ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਦੰਦੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਚੱਲ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਲਓ ਫਿਰ। ਇਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਐਂਡ
ਹੰਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ। ਬਟ ਲੁੱਕ ਐਟ ਦੈਟ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇਜ਼ and there's a quality of Guru Sahib Ji, and that's what makes Guru Sahib Ji different from someone like the average person, that if you know normal person would, if someone's coming with hankar to you to try and debate you or not, we're probably trying to debate with back or whatnot, not thinking about the hankar mitaiye da
is Satguru sada dayal hai na. Well, the daya the Guru has is we can't even imagine.
No way.
Like, you've got someone at hankar, his intention is I want to show this 5-year-old that, you know, you're nothing. What am I going to his hankar is the reason he can't परमेश्वर की प्राप्ति नहीं कर सकते। मैं ਇਹਦਾ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਤੋੜ ਦਵਾਂ। ਅਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਮਾਲ। ਐਂਡ he says exactly that, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਇੰਨਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੈ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ। ਸਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੀਤਾ ਆਨਸਰ ਮਾਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਔਨ ਦ ਗੀਤਾ। ਗੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਅਰਜੁਨ ਨੂੰ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮਹਾਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ, is all that. So I've got a few questions. I want you to answer those questions. And Guruji's response is, you know, if I was to answer them, you're going to think I must have heard it from somewhere. ਤੂੰ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਕਿ ਧਨੀ ਪੁਰਖ ਇਹ ਭਾਗ ਬਲੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਨਹੂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਏ ਭਾਂਤ ਬਲੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿ he's probably a wealthy person, his father got him to study from a pandit somewhere. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ। Guru says as the Satguru I know ਕਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਇਹਦਾ ਟੁੱਟਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ। This is the Guruji's mindset. Then as we know, Maharaj says, ਚੱਲ what I want you to do is call a fool of your choice from your pind, Panjokhra.
It gives them a choice. Call anyone you want.
Anyone. And this is where Chajju, he tries to be smart. He tries to get,
so Lal-Chand's trying to be smart.
Sorry,
Pandit. Pandit Lal-Chand's trying to be smart.
And what he tries to do, he said, let's try and get someone that's deaf, can't hear, someone that can't speak as well. And ये भी लिखा कि he tries his best, जिन पढ़ते नर नहीं ने हारे. He made sure that in the pen, anyone in the pen never saw him study a single word as well. मैं कदे स्कूल नहीं गया, पढ़ा नहीं। I want to make sure that as well. He tries his best, then he gets Chajju.
Chajju,
and ਉਹ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਹਨਾ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, and also they have the chadi.
The bamboo stick.
Like a small Shasta Maharaj. ਉਹ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, and what happens is, and Kavi ji, they explain it, and you can just try and imagine it, na. ਇੱਥੇ ਆਦਿਕ ਸੁਰ ਗਿਰਾ ਬਖਾਨੀ, the moment Satguru Maharaj ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, that same Chajju, everyone in the pin knows who he is. You have to remember, like, for us it'll be a random person, but everyone's saying they're like, oh yeah,
they know that he's deaf, he can't speak, he's mute, he can't speak.
All he can do is eat.
Literally.
Everyone is watching like, chao onu batha tha, theek hai. The moment Satguru Maharaj kirpa karne, sur gira bakhani, he starts speaking Sanskrit. Sundar sundar awaaz that no one's ever heard his voice before. Jo se vidya hai buddh mahani. Inda bolda that he's been studying these granths for hundreds of years. Inda badda vidwan, that confidence, na.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that as soon as he's speaking, because I can imagine the massive crowd coming now. Because you can imagine, like, you know, just a normal standard person from the pind thinking that, some people, half people were just going for the tamasha.
100%.
Right? Just let's go and see you. Let's go and see what's going to happen and stuff. But then, you know, and then when you see Lal-Chand coming with Chajju, people are probably thinking, let's see what happens now. Then, innit? And then the moment that he speaks, I can just imagine that pin drop silence where people are like proper shocked. Like, Aki ho gaya na.
Exactly. And you have to remember, this is Sanskrit. The people don't even know what you're saying. Only the Pandit that understands somewhat. Everyone's like, wow, ki boli. And this is what Kavi ji is saying. The Pandit had these 10 questions in his mind. Shanka prachan vipra man jai. ਉਹਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗੇ कर है आप पुन उत्तर दे छज्जू he doesn't even let the pandit ask आप क्वेश्चन कहता
Okay.
आप gives the answer दुखा दा है ना या शंका दशक होती दिज मन around about 10 questions
Yeah.
now these big questions as well
Yeah.
3 and these are questions to do with आत्म विचार आत्म है की
So
चीज
deep stuff.
yeah probably yeah 3 पाकी ते छिन मात्र ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਨੇ just ਸਾਰਾ ਤੱਤ ਸਮ ਮੂਰੇ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ and you can imagine the pandit's reaction
Yeah.
wonder story can't say anything and the moment this happens is the pandit hears this straight away ਚਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਪਾਸ਼ਾ ਦੇ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ this way says ਕਿ हाथ जोड़ कर परे उगारी करी दंडौत प्रेम कर पारी हम प्रेम मन च आ गया बोलियो this way says कि महाराज ਮਹਿਮਾ ਲਖੀ ਅਨੂਪ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸੋ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਰੂਪ ਮੈਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਪਾਸ਼ਕ ਸੀਗਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਜਾਣ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਭੂਮੀ ਮੈਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਜਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਭੂਮੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਹੋ ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਵੇ ਕਿ ਤਬ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੇ ਚਰਨ ਪਖਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਾਓ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਸਤ ਚਰਨ ਪਾਹੁਲ ਲਈ ਭਾਇਓ ਅਨੁਸਾਰੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਚਰਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਐਂਡ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਿਆ And if you want to just talk about that, because most people don't know.
No, so look how much daya Maharaj have on Pandit Lal-Chand.
Yeah.
He comes with Hankar, Maharaj breaks his Hankar, and now he wants to become a Sikh of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj. This is I would even go to the extent of saying he was a Kattar Hindu. Kattar meaning that he had all the knowledge, because no one could win him in a debate.
Yeah.
He had all the knowledge. Sara, both gyan siga the call. So it wasn't like, sometimes when we hear of Sakya, we just think, oh yeah, Lal-Chand, like he tried to trick out, but Maharaj scaled him out. But no, he wasn't aiming his Yakoi. He wasn't anyone. He had so much gyan, so much knowledge, and he's fell at the feet of our Guru now, Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, and he's saying, "Menu Sikh bana lo."
Yeah.
And Maharaj then gives Charan Amrit, which was how you became a Sikh then. In today's day and age, is Khande Bhatte Amrit, and what Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj changed. But if you wanted to become a Sikh of the Guru, it was an initiation process, wasn't it?
That's it.
You get initiated by taking Amrit. So he took Amrit, and then he stays with Maharaj. He stays in the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji with Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, with Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, and not many people know this, and that he became Lal Singh. Yeah, so Lal Singh, he becomes one of the Shaheeds in the Battle of Chumkor. So not only did Maharaj break his Hankar, Maharaj made him one of the Shaheeds in Battle of Chumkor.
Look at that.
Oh, Hankar na hunda hai hun. You know, where are you going to get that from?
सारे गुण बख्शते हैं ना विद्वान भी सीखा सूरमा भी बनाता है
सूरमा भी बनाता है and like we talk about Battle of Chumkor like na aunda ya when Lal-Chand comes out into battle, Lal Singh comes out into battle and fights the army, the Mughal army, and Jimmy Shaheedi प्राप्त कर दिया. But that's what a true guru is, isn't it?
That's it.
I know.
It's like we said, it's that paras, है ना?
Yeah.
It turned out loha into gold. And not only that, उस संग बन के listen to his साखियाँ किन्ना लोगों का उत्साह पैदा हो गया असली बनिए. So the paras turns into the paras.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to come back to the point of listening to your itihas, listening to your history, how important it is. Look, because we're listening to the history, that's how we're able to establish that connection with Guru Sahib Ji, and how we're able to build our faith, how we're able to build that Shardha as well in Maharaj. One thing I've learned though is going through, especially in Friday Night Sikhi, going through Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Ji and listening to the Sakya in this much detail, that whoever came to Maharaj, whether it was these big scholars, Vidwans, like Pandit Lal-Chand, during Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj time, all these big Vidwans in Kanchi ho gaya, and Jagannath Puri ho gaya, and Bia, all these big Vidwans, when they'd hear the bachan of Guru Sahib Ji, they'd ask, they'd say, Maharaj sanu Sikh bana lo, make us your Sikh. So they all turned into Sikh then, you know. So it's amazing stuff this is.
And eventually Satguru Maharaj, they get to Delhi finally.
Yeah.
And we really get to see how much Shardha Mirza Raja Jai Singh had, you know. There's a reason Guru Maharaj, they left Kirtpur on Darshan den vaste, because look at his prem, hai na. The moment he just hears, oh, Guru Harkrishan Ji aa gaye, Delhi vich. He just hears this once. Son Raja harkat payo. The moment he hears it, bas khoshi paida hundi hai, like prem hai na, utsaah paida hunda. Band hai man kar Shardha le, man kar ke bandan karda. Aatan Guru Harkrishan Maharaj pahunch gaye ne, hai na. Nagan charan kar taj aswari. ਨੰਗੀ ਪੈਰ gets off his horse and ਭੱਜ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ
A big general this is, yeah?
This is the highest
rank in general.
the highest rank,
the highest. And imagine how he would have strolled, how he would have been going about his daily life. And then at this point he hears Guru Harkrishan Maharaj and takes his shoes off, off his horse and
ਨਿਮਰ ਹੋਏ ਕਰ ਮੰਦਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅੱਗੇ you know we all know that, or you may have heard of that, you know, at the time in Delhi there's epidemic and outbreaks of, there's actually many diseases according to Kavi Santokh Ji, but we know smallpox was main one, cholera as well. But according to Suraj Prakash, they have a whole chapter, all of the eye on the different diseases that are prevalent in Delhi at the time. But I think they summarized it well in this one chapter, in these 4 lines. Tan ke rogi tap dreg khansi, you know, infectious dermatological disease, you know, of the skin, you know, you've got smallpox for example. Drig, you know, ocular pathologies, infections of the eye as well. Anti-respiratory and lung infections as well. Both are in there. Mehma sunat jahin Gurpasi. Everyone, because remember, unane Guru Maharaj di mehma suni sigi. They never seen it. They just suni sigi. Mehma sun ke Guru Ji de paas jande. Everyone. Tarah hriday Shardha sukhrasi. Shardha de naal darsat rojgan turat binasi. Bas with that darshan sare ko naas ho jande. Just by having darshan of Tan Satguru Maharaj. Sache Pasha. And again, it's one of those things where one person goes, he tells everyone, a whore on there, a whore on there, a whore on there. Is that every single house would be saying, Tan Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj, Tan Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Na peer, and I got, sorry, pari peer has Sat Gurudware, sun pahochat hai rojware, sare rogi, you know, all the people with various different diseases, as a massive crowd would go towards Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj to have the darshan. And just by the darshan, दोख में नाशे हो हे रोग को है ना just सारे नाश होने से as a praise of that Satguru Maharaj. And as you can imagine, we go back to Ram Rai, you know, he's in Delhi as well. Now his younger brothers also reached Delhi, and onu you know changi nahi lagdi gal. The Sangat, because they heard about, they knew who Ram Rai was. Now they finally got to see Guru Harkrishan Ji. They start comparing. This is what the Sangat are saying amongst themselves. ਵੱਡੋ ਭਰਾ ਤੇ ਸਭ ਅਜ਼ਮਤ ਲਾਇਕ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਦਿਖਾਏ ਤੁਰਕ ਗਣਨਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਭਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਰਾਮ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਸੀਮਤ ਸੀਗਾ he just showed like a magician.
Dug his own grave. This is all his plan for Maharaj to come there in the first place.
That's exactly. He just showed these, you know, that are miracles just for the Turks, na ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ. But the younger brother, na Guru Harkrishan Maharaj, ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਸਭ ਦੀਨਨ ਕੇ ਦਾਨੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਖੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੁਖਾਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮਨੋ ਗਰੀਬਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਵਾਜਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ they're not even showing any miracles, just ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਰੋਗ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. ਧੰਨ Guru Harkrishan Maharaj. And that's the Sangat, that's what they're saying. And of course Aurangzeb, he's got eyes everywhere, you know? And this is what Kavi Ji is saying. The moment the news comes to Aurangzeb, his mantri goes to Aurangzeb, and he's like giving a small report, he's saying now Atwin Pasha, the Malik that's on the Gurgaddi of Guru Nanak Maharaj themselves. Guru Nanak Maharaj sare mante hai. He said the moment they entered Delhi, the disease has started to decrease. All types of disease. And the mantri, he can't help but do the ustad of Atwin Pasha. So just bakhani o Satguru kera. Porte naach keen rojira ke hey Badshah Alamgir, hey Aurangzeb. The moment they entered, sare, you know, all these rogues, it's again destroyed. Nash ho jande hai. Then this is what the mantri adds on top. He said, Mahan Gambhir Tir Sukh Sagar ke hey Badshah main ye jaan ke ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬਾਲਕ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ ਸੁੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਗਰ ਨੇ ਹਨਾ ਬੈ ਲਗ ਬੁੱਧੀ ਬ੍ਰਿਧ ਬੜ ਨਗਰ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੁੱਧੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਜ਼ ਲਾਈਕ ਦ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਇਜ਼ ਲਾਈਕ can't be compared. ਸਰਬ ਲੋਕ ਜਸ ਪਾਵਨ ਹੈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇਟਸ ਨੋਟ ਓਨਲੀ ਮੀ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ ਐਵਰੀਵੇਅਰ ਆਈ ਗੋ ਹਨਾ ਪੀਪਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਸਤਤ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਧਨੀ ਰੰਗ ਜਿਮ ਕੋ ਸਮ ਹੈ whether it's a poor, you know, the disease, whether it's a rich as well, ਸਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਸਤਤ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ. And Aurangzeb hearing all of this, and remember Ram Rai is there as well. He was on Gaddi in the court of Aurangzeb. And ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਾ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਬਸ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਛੱਡਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ. And this is where he says in jealousy, and we'll touch on this a lot more detail during Joti Jot. He says ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਉਹ ਸਭ ਸਭਾ ਮਚਾਰੀ the whole ਸਭਾ ਹਨਾ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨਾ in ਈਰਖਾ. He says ਜਿਹੇ ਤੁਮ ਕੀਰਤ ਕਰ ਉਚਾਰੀ that same Guru ਹਨਾ he's saying ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਸਤਤ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ he says this in jealousy, in anger. He says the same rogues will affect them. He just says this in jealousy. And I just want to pause here for the Sangat that are watching, that's watched so far.
Yeah.
To watch the whole thing for the Joti Jot. Because what happens is, when you watch something halfway, adhura gyan hunda hai.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. You don't know the whole story. Later on, Satguru, they go through everything. Vichar karte hain, what are the reasons for leaving at this time at the age of 7? What's the excuse for leaving my body? So please stay for the end of this. So this is what Ram Rai says. Sare nu sunda ya, and jande si ke Ram Rai da karamat hegi ya. And everyone's a bit shocked. This is his own brother. He's only 5 years old. This is what he says. Okay. And eventually Raja Jai Singh, he was there as well, because he's the Mirza Raja. He takes everything back to 8वें पातशाह. सारा कुछ दसता है. And look at the response of 8वें पातशाह. कितने गंभीर नहीं है ना. कि हमरे जीवन मरण समान. For me, जीवना मरना एक चीज ही है. दुख सुख एक चीज है ना. धन ते निर्धन होना, ये सारा एक चीज ही है. धन ये नाशवंत पहचान. Whoever enters this world है ना, शरीर धारदा है, वो तो जाना ही है ना. जो जन्म है सो निश्चय मर है. जेरा जमदा है निश्चय करके मरना ही होना. मूर्ख जी आस कहो कर है. It's only the मूर्ख जो आस कर दिया कि जी then say वही मूर्ख ही है that can try to predict the future. जो कुछ होना है हुक्म में पहले ही लिखा. And this is why you get to see on one side you got Ram Rai with all this jealousy, and you have Satguru Maharaj. कोई वैर कोई कुछ नहीं. वही गुरबाणी महाराज कहते सतगुरु अंदरों निर्वैर है. सब देख के ब्रह्म एक सोई बस. उन्होंने बस परमेश्वर ही दसता है ना. Nirvaira na je vair chalaye de, then which ho tistya na koi. Those that do vair, so enmity towards the nirvair, who's Satguru in this case. Ondro sarde rende. And that's Pratak, Ram Rai's case.
Yeah.
And the Sangat hearing this, they do the praise again. Kar hai satot bahut tum gambhir, he matu se bahut hi gambhir ne, hai na. Teer javantan mein hai prabh teer. लखियत जाहर कला तुम्हारी गुरु नानक गादी अधिकारी. महाराज ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਗਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀ ਹੋ. You deserve to be in the seat of Guru Nanak Maharaj. And eventually, Aurangzeb, he wants to have darshan.
Listening to that, you would want to, innit?
100%.
Yeah, I can imagine hearing the greatness, the ustad, the praise of Harkrishan Ji Maharaj in that way. The mantra is doing all this praising, saying that they get dukh dur ho janda, they're so beautiful. Obviously, you got. I can imagine Aurangzeb like, oh, I need to meet them.
And this is them in Delhi. They're in his city as well. So, I need to see them.
I need to go see them. Yeah.
And that's what he does. He said to the Raja Jai Singh, okay, I told you to bring them here, but mainu bhi milona hai. He said to Raja Singh, whatever you can do, bring them here.
Yeah.
So this is what, according to Kavi Santokh Singh Ji, Aurangzeb even sends one of his sons, who's at the same age around, takes some forge with him as well. Benti karan waste.
Guru Harkrishan Maharaj. Yeah, okay.
And this is what they say to Guru Harkrishan Ji. Hamri mulaqat thehrao, je na man hai ev alav. This Aurangzeb, this is why he's saying to Jai Singh and the rest, all the messengers are going with him. Mere naal milo, hai na, whatever way you can. If they don't want to meet me, apno shabd deho likhwaye. So anho likh hum dekhaye ke at least write a letter to me, write something, some form of communication. And that's eventually they get there. And this is Satguru Ji's response, Guru 8वें पातशाह. या इत्यादि के लख पिता हमारे, जिवें साडे पिताजी ने कहा सी ना, नह मलेश को दर्शन दे हैं, इन इसी तरह शाहो ना मिलो, कीन हटकारे से उन्हें मिलना ही नहीं, है ना. Then they say, Baz, I want to hear from you at least, है ना. And the first time I heard this as well, when I was going through this. Satguru Maharaj ने कहा, चल ठीक है लिख लो कुछ. The Likhari gets ready. He has a can of paper. And Satguru Maharaj, Shri Guru Nanak केर बनायो, बीच फारसी के लिखवायो. The Likhari, he's writing in Farsi. Then Guru Harkrishan Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji di Bani ucharan karde hai. Okay. So send this to Aurangzeb. This is what I want you to send. Right. So this is what he's saying. Satguru Maharaj. Mahalla pehla. Kya khadda hai, kya paida hai hoy, ja man nahi sacha soy. Now what's the point of having all these padarths to eat, wearing all these fancy clothes, being the emperor of the Mughal empire. Je man vich sacha dharm hai nahi, naam hai nahi. What's the point if you don't have righteousness? क्या मेवा क्या क्यों गुड़ मिठा क्या मैदा क्या मांस. Having all these wonderful things to eat, है ना. मेवा गुड़ क्यों मांस, है ना, जो भी कुछ सकते या क्या कपड़ क्या सेर सुखाली की जाए भोग विलास. सारे वक् तरह के भोग तो करता है ना. कपड़े सोने या है ना, या this mandars and everything. क्या लश्कर क्या नेब खवासी, having these armies, these horses. आवे महली वास, having these mansions. नानक सच्चे नाम विन सब पे टोल बिना. हे औरंगजेब के नाम तो बिना है ना सारा को नाश ही है. तेरे अंदर धर्म है नहीं है ना. Without that, nothing's of use. That's what Guru Atme Paatshah Ji say to Aurangzeb.
I'm just trying to think here that Guru Aurangzeb is probably inside dying to get darshan of Maharaj. Sends his son, does try to do whatever he tried to do, right? Maharaj have turned around saying, "Inu darshan deni nahi hai kasi." And he's begging for darshan in a way, right? The Maharaj sends this response back.
This is a response, and he gets a response. Yeah, he reads it up. Pehli ਗੱਲ ਬੋਲੀ ਮਾਨ ਕੇ ਹਾਂ, this is not just a 5-year-old child. They read this, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਗੌਰਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਬੁੱਧ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ. But then he's also angry at the same time, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਇਨ ਸੋ ਮੇਲ ਕਰਨ ਹੱਠ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨੀਕੀ ਮੁਝ ਲੱਗੀ ਵਿਚਰ ਗਿਆ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ. So this is his same thought process at the same time. So then Raja Jai Singh's there with him. He says, okay, they're not willing to meet me, they're not willing to show me any karamat. He said, but ਤੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਖੀ. I want you to test them. I want you to see if they have any karamat. एक दिवस तुर्केश का है जयपुर नाथ के साथ. With him, they're just talking amongst each other. You got Aurangzeb man is number 1 general. And this is what he says. He said, तुम भी कब परख्यो क्या ना है, तू कदे उन्होंने परख्या है ना, तू उन्होंने गुरु मानता. Have you seen any miracle yourself? पता ली इनको एक बिदकाए एक बारी तो पता कर ला. राजा जय सिंह ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਜੈ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੋਲਿਓ ਕਰ ਜੋਰ ਕੇ ਕੁਛ ਦੁਰਬਾਕ ਨਾ ਕਹੇ ਮੁਝੇ. He said, I don't want them to be, upset with me if I try and park Guru di park करनी है. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ. ਹਾਂ, ਗੁਰੂ
he's got that ਗਿਆਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਗਿਆਨ ਹੈਗਾ, he's got that knowledge.
Then Aurangzeb said ਨਹੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ. Then he's got no choice.
Stuck again in the situation.
Sticky situation. Then he says this to Aurangzeb eventually. He said, तो आपके क्या है बेकार क्या? He said, because of you told me, है ना, ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਦਾਸਨ ਸਰਦਾਸ ਦਰ ਗਿਆ. He said, I'll test them in such a way ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੀ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਵਧੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵਾਸਤੇ. So he's trying to find a path in the middle. So that's what he does. And we've heard of the Sakhi, that what he does is he gets all his servants and all his queens to dress very beautifully. Typically people that he dresses them, makeup and everything, they
so
look like
all the servants as well.
All the servants,
dress them all up as one kind of.
Was beautiful, queens and so on. But his actual Patrani, the one that would sit with him, alongside him, his actual queen, he tells her, "Tu maile kapde pone ya." And you just go in the corner and hide yourself. This was leho mot but malin purana. Take the mele kapde paao. Nahe shingar saj ho bidana. Don't do any shingar, wearing any jewelry, any makeup and so on. Sabke pache kon maja rahe. Sare ne piche na udo kone vich tu khar ja. Baith kar raho. Tar drishti aur uthe baith ja te thalle dekhi ja. Don't show your face either. So his actual queen somewhere like in the corner.
So go and sit at the back.
And he gets his servants to dress as queens and so on. And this is when I heard this.
I was going to mention it at the end, but I'll mention it now. That I didn't do no research for this. I'm saying it straight up here, and it's bad on my part. I get it, but on ki career with Gristi family, family life, whatnot, But I did it for a little bit of a reason, and I wanted everyone to see my genuine reaction to the Sakya that I'm listening to right now.
Definitely,
because some of these Sakya I've not heard before either myself. Before with the other podcasts that we've done, most of the Sakya, I've heard, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to hear them again. And we shouldn't ever think that, main to Sakya suni hui hai.
No.
How many times have you often watched like TV programs or not? We'll watch it again. I've watched the same episode again. Bar dekh lende hain. The kids watch the same episodes again or whatnot as well. So it's very important that you go over the Sakya bar as well. Keep on going over them.
And eventually when you get that.
But this is my genuine reaction to these Sakya that I'm hearing today. And I know the camera probably can't pick it up or whatnot, but it has made me emotional. It's made me emotional at times when just trying to imagine going. One of the scenes that got me emotional was Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj getting off their horse and building with the sand. I'm just trying to imagine Maharaj doing that and looking so beautiful. But carry on, bro.
Very cool. And this is what his plan is. The moment like the katha was going through these pankti, and I won't say anything. Let's go through this. So Satguru Maharaj antarjami hai. They know that what Raja Jai Singh wants to do. They know his plan because Satguru sara kuch jante ne. Et Shri Satguru sab bid jani. Het parkh be jas thani. Because sanu parkhna ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. This what at chintatur chit mein Satguru chinta ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ. ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਉਹ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ। ਕਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ? ਲੇਤ ਅੰਤ ਮਨ ਕੋ ਮਤ ਪੁਰੋ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਡੋਲ ਗਿਆ, ਕਮੱਤੀ 'ਚ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ, ਗਲਤ ਰਾਹ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ, Guru Maharaj ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਹੈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ
Maharaj have got the chinta.
yeah that my Gursikh he's going on the wrong path.
So Guru Sahib Ji are worrying about their Sikh, and in that way, look at that, the relationship. I think we mentioned it last time as well. It works both ways. The relationship does, and ऐदा नहीं कभी सोचना है कि असी Maharaj नो गैर दास करें. Maharaj, if you're Maharaj is yours as well. Maharaj will look after. Maharaj will have worries for you, like a parent does for a child, doesn't it? चिंता ही होती है. No matter what type of child it is, whether he's naughty, whether he's good, मापे नु तो ही होता है same. Yeah, so and so Maharaj have got this chinta, they've got this worry that my Sikh, what's he doing? Yeah.
And this is what Guruji do. They sukham basic bastar than like what they do is they lay down, है ना, like a chadar अपने ऊपर बिछा लेंदे ने, है ना. श्री सतगुर थिरता निज कह के विचार करदे ने चिंता विच ने गुरु महाराज गत लोकन की करत विचारण के मैं इनू ਇਹਦਾ ਉਧਾਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਾਂ ਰਾਜ ਜੈ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਅਸਲ ਸਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਕਿ ਬਿਨ ਸੁਧ ਅੰਤੇ ਪਾਵੇਂ ਪਾਲਣ ਕੇ ਗਿਆਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਇਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਨੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਉਧਾਰ ਕਰੀਏ. ਐਂਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੈਡ ਇਨ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਕਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਤਿਪਾਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੇਵਕ ਗੋ ਗੁਰ ਸਦਾ ਦਇਆ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਗੁਰ ਦੁਰਮਤ ਮਲ ਹਿਰਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਰਮਤ ਖੋਟੀ ਬੁੱਧ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਨਾਸ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰੀਏ ਨਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਜੋੜੀਏ. ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇਹ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਰਾਜਾ ਜੈ ਸਿੰਘ eventually he's asking Gursikh, where's Ashwin Pasha? Because he wants to test him. Yeah, oh Maharaj, they've locked the door for some reason. कमरे च बैठे हैं. अच्छा, वार-वार पुकारदा कि प्रभु जी करो कपाट हटावन कि महाराज खोलो कृपा करके खोलो. महाराज कोई कुछ नहीं बोलते. दास जान देखो दर्शन पावन कि महाराज मैनू अपना दास समझो. I'm your servant है ना. I'm not a raja and so on. मैं ताड़ा दास हां. He says once, Maharaj, no answer. Says twice, no answer. 3 times and 3 बार है कारण करे. बोले गुर ना मौन था साथ कुछ नहीं बोले बस बिदे चादर बैठे ने चिंता विच. ऊंची चौथे हांक पुकारी super loudly, you know, for the 4th time. गुर जी करो कपाट उघारी आप करो समझावन ऐसे सुत को कहत पिता हित जैसे just like he said. Paji said, Maharaj je मैंने भुल हो गया ना. See me as your son. Just as a father and tells his son कोई गलत पासे जाना चंगी तरह ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਇੰਦਾ ਮਾਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾ ਦੋ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ. That's why Satguru eventually they come in, give in and they open the door. And this is the example Guruji give to him. He said, you want to test my karamat. They say very directly to him. Ko apno tana dehe dekhai. This is the question. Say, is there anyone in this world that wants to show, you know, how much, let's say, just for worldly sake for today, how much money you have in the bank. Koi tan dikhonda ya. No one shows around how much money you have.
You keep that secret.
Yeah. Kar upaye sab lehe durai. Everyone, they try their best to hide this.
Yeah.
And tu ki karda? हाँ गुरु सर्व कला समर्थ हैगा या पर गुरु doesn't go around showing this. This is what Guru Maharaj कहते हैं. They said this is the reason I didn't want to come to Delhi in the first place.
समझाते हैं हाँ जी हाँ.
प्रथम इसी कारण को जाने न आम दिल्ली को माने के अज़म you want to see miracles है ना. इसको प्रेम जान चल है कि हे राज जैसे मैं तेरे प्रेम करके इत्थे आया ये तू निश्चय करके जान है अब के ठट है को मत बचाए है हम तेरी कुमति किवें असीं नाश करिए. And he asked for forgiveness. राजा ਸਿੰਘ अब रण वास है पूर्व वास है महाराज चलो ठीक है ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਪਰ ਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਆਸਾ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ 8ਵੇਂ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਰਖ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਦੈਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੈਰ ਹੀ ਪਵਾਂਗੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ ਮੈਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਆਇਓ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸ ਗਿਆ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਹ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਡਾ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਵੇ. ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਲ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਾਜੇ ਨੂੰ. ਐਂਡ ਇਵੈਂਚੁਅਲੀ ਦੇ ਗੋ ਦੇयर and Maharaj they have their chhadi in their hand है ना. and the way Kavi ji they say हाथ गई फूलन की छड़ी है ना बहुत मोल का सो बहुत ही सुंदर लगती सतगुरु महाराज के हाथ विच. you know trying to imagine it. नेगट तरिया के सिर पर हनी सतगुरु महाराज just has a kid है ना one by one to the Rani on the head. Naha Patrani, you're not the queen. Naha Patrani, Naha Patrani, every single one. Mukh impani. And eventually all that period of, you know, his servant and so on, Maharaj go through all of them, say tu Patrani है नहीं. And they walk towards the corner where the other one is sitting. तो वो छंग में बैठे they go and sit in her laps. Pick azmat है परे हो पाई. And then the Rani वो देख के महाराज चरनी बंदी. तान गुरु हरकृष्ण जी महाराज. But then they do all this to show the Rani कि चलो ठीक है तारे विश्वास शायद हुन हो गया बच गया. गुरु महाराज not happy with the राजा. कि तू जैसे गुर संतन सो नह छल बुझे गुरुआं दी संतां दी है ना छल नाल इन्हां नूं परखना नहीं चाहिदा. And they give a beautiful example. They say, and this is on that Shardha that we talked about earlier on. Okay? Nishchal Nishcha Nit Chit Janige. Those that have unwavering Nishcha and Shardha on Satguru Maharaj, Sri Nanak Sukhdayak Tinke, Guru Nanak Maharaj, one of the Bokas on there. Those that have pure faith on the Guru. And because of that Shardha, as you mentioned, we have all the Shaheed things, we have this Itihas. It's because of this Nishchal, Shardha. And this is what Maharaj say to the Raja. Sansa Agras Jinho ke man hai, kab hai Shardha, Shardha jana. Those are Kade Shardha kar diya, Kade Tarka kar diya, Kade Shardha kar diya. Una di ye hal hundi hai. And I give this example like a metaphor. Prem neer jan thar hai nahi. Just as you have water, imagine that stream of water to be prem. Stop that water, which is meant to be prem and Shardha. How is that crop meant to grow? That crop is seva bhakti. Yeah. If that crop doesn't grow, Shreya Phalanta Pai Kaha, Tripat Anand, na Supneta. That you can't have that Mukti Rupi, Anand Rupi Phal. Okay, look at them, they're saying it all sort from that Prem and Shardha.
Brilliant example.
Yeah. Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, Prem to Vina Prema Bhakti.
If you stop that Shardha Prem, everything else gets.
Then you don't have the Mukti, you don't have the Nand, Ogyan, Vini Prabhupada. That's what Satguru Maharaj is doing. And the moment, Sare Sondik, this is from the mouth of a 5-year-old. This is the first time they've all seen, all the Rani have seen Satguru Maharaj. Poola Pari, go Bakshana, Mara Bakshalo. हमसे पतित कर हो उदारे महाराज ने पतित है ना तो उसी उदार कर लो एंड दिस इज व्हेन राजा है ना आगे को सो मार्ग चरण अमृत दे चरण ना मारा में चरण अमृत बख्शो अपने चरण ना जोड़ो और महाराज ने अमृत सुकून देने
there you go no वो भी Sikh बन जाता फिर he wants to become a Sikh of Maharaj as well. I was just thinking while you're saying all this ना that if you want that same relationship with Maharaj where Maharaj worry about you like their child, we need to make that little bit of an effort and go to Maharaj.
That's it.
And have that relationship with Maharaj as well. Just like, even though the Raja is in that situation where Aurangzeb was saying, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Or the man which be tension hegi. He's got, but he went to Maharaj with, so being Maharaj Sikh, having Shardha in Maharaj or whatnot. But because he had that Shardha in the first place, Maharaj looked after him, and even though he tried to open the door 3 times, 4 times, Maharaj could have responded in the first go. But in that moment, that time, however long it took for him to try to open the door 4 times, Maharaj was doing that all on purpose. Why? To break his hankar even further, innit? To get him to beg, because when you start begging, your hankar is automatically gone, isn't it? And also to test, like, how much does he want it? And I remember mentioning in Friday Night Sikhi as well that, I remember listening to Gatha a while back, that when you do walk on this path, you will get tested. Maharaj will test you, but it's for our own good. Maharaj is testing you because at the end of the day, Maharaj wants to make you a great Gursikh. That's why Maharaj is testing you. And the example that was given was, imagine how a sword gets made. It starts with just a lump of metal. Just a small lump of metal. And what the ironsmith does is proper heats it up. That's the first test. Let's put it through the test, heat it up. Next test is to start smashing it down, right? Start smashing it until it starts getting long. But it doesn't end there. What does he do? He folds it over, puts it in the fire again. And edda kar diya. Start smashing it. Bar bar kari jana, until it becomes a beautiful sword. And that's what Maharaj will do. Maharaj will test you. And when you overcome them tests and you pass them tests, in the end, Maharaj will make you a beautiful Gursikh.
That's it.
But we need to have that same kind of, I want that relationship with Maharaj. The same kind of relationship.
This is what every Gursikh can have.
I've got, that's it.
That's, I think, if anyone watching can just realize this. This is possible for you.
That's it. That's just take this one thing away.
That's it.
Is anyone can have that relationship with Maharaj.
So eventually, as time goes by, Satguru Maharaj, they realize that, sama aa gaya. All right, for us to leave our sarir. And this is what I think, going into this in detail is worth going into, because I never knew this myself. I'm just being completely transparent. I just heard Satguru Maharaj ne rog naas karte, apne sarir te le liya. Like personally, I just have the shankar that Maharaj da rog naas karan is sarir te lende ki zaroort pai hai. And ਇਹ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਚਾ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪੁਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ ਕੀਨ ਸਕਾਇਆਂ ਤੇ ਆਗਨ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਮਾਂ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ at the age of 7 I need to leave this body ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਹੋਣਹਾਰ ਸੋ ਸਮੋ ਪਛਾਣ ਚਾਹਤ ਹੋਇਓ ਅੰਤਰ ਧਿਆਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਦਿਸ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆਇਆ ਵਾਈ ਬਹੁ ਕਾਰਨ ਤਿਸ ਮੈਂ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੇ ਬਹੁ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਠਾਣੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਸਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਤਾਗਦੀ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਫਿਰ ਤਿੰਨ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਤ ਹੋਇਆ ਪੰਥ ਚਲਾਵਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹਨੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਗਨ ਤੁਰਕਨ ਕੀ ਜੜ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਉਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੁਰਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੜ ਨਾਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਨੋਲ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਸਮੇਂ ਸਿਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਫੋਲੋਜ਼ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਕੇਲ ਫਿਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨੇ ਵਾਟ ਸ਼ੈਲ ਆਈ ਮੇਕ ਦ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਫॉर ਮੀ ਲੀਵਿੰਗ ਦਿਸ ਬੋਡੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਐਂਡ ਕਵੀ ਸੰਤੋਖ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਯਦ ਹਮ ਭਰਾਤ ਸਰਾਪ ਨਿਫ ਲਾਵੇਂ ਨਿਜ ਗੁਰ ਘਰ ਕੋ ਅਦਬ ਘਟਾਵੇਂ so we have to go back to Ram Rai so right back to previous episode as well in this one we mentioned it ਸੱਤਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਵਚਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਤੂੰ ਕਹੋਗਾ ਨਾ ਸੱਚ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ it'll happen ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਹੀ ਸੀਗਾ on the same time we have ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਇਹ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ if what he said doesn't come true if I don't take on smallpox these diseases ਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਅਦਬ ਘਟ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ the respect for Guru Haraj is going to decrease ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਗੰਭੀਰਤਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੱਤਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਦੀ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ if ਉਹਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਨਿਫਲ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ ਯਦ ਹਮ ਭਰਾਤ ਸਭ ਸ਼ਰਾਪ ਨਿਫ ਲਾਵੇਂ Sadhguru Maharaj ne vichara ke this is the best way for me to leave my body. Number one, the time has come. Maharaj just explained everything. Reasons why. And this is I'm going to take this onto my body to leave this world. And the moment Sadhguru Maharaj ji vichar karte they start developing a fever, and then the lesions start coming on their body. And at the time, Mata Kishan Kaur ji vi naal hai ne, their mother. And oh, ye pukar karte they're crying है ना कि हे Sadhguru, my son है ना Sadhguru, कि कहत पई तुम दर्शन करे. ਰੋਗ ਅਨੇਕਨ ਕੇ ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਗਾਦੀ ਪਰ ਆਪ ਜਗ ਕੇ ਨਾਸੋ ਪਾਪ ਸੰਤਾਪ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਗੁਰਤਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਸ ਪਾਪ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਵਿਧਿਓ ਬਚਨ ਵਿਧਿਓ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੋਟ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਧਰੈ ਕਸ਼ਟ ਦੋਹਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਕੇ ਹਰੈ ਤੇ ਨੋ ਓਨਲੀ ਇਹ ਲੋਕ ਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੋਗ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਅਗਲੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਾਸ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਵਾਈ ਦੇ ਕੰਫਿਊਜ਼ਡ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਾਂ ਖੇਲ ਇਹ ਆਪ ਉਪਾਏ ਮਾਨੇ ਕੀ ਖੇਲ ਬਣਾਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿਸ ਕੋ ਦੇਖੇ ਪਰਮ ਉਪਾਏ ਮਾਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਭਰਮ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਕੀ ਆ ਸੇਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਰਾਜਾ ਜੈ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੈਸੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਤ ਠਾਨੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਸ ਕੀ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਦਰਸ ਆਪਕੇ ਨਾਸ ਹੈ ਰੋਗ ਭਏ ਨਗਰ ਗਨ ਲੋਗ ਅਰੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਈਵ ਜਸਟ ਸੀਨ ਵਿਦ ਮਾਈ ਓਨ ਆਈਜ਼ all of Delhi became ਅਰੋਗ ਹੈ ਨਾ just by having your darshan ਕਿਆ ਲੀਲਾ ਦਿਖਰਾ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਖੇਡ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਮਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਲੈ ਤੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੀ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ forget your darshan ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੀ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਰਬ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਪੂਰਨ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਭੰਜਨ ਗੜਨ ਆਪ ਕਹਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਕਤੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ to destroy ਹੈ ਨਾ to get rid of disease is in your hands and this is ਇੰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ he says ਮਹਾਰਾਜ and Jai Singh he's crying as well at the same time he said Maharaj I can't see you in this form he gets in a bit of a bit agitation he said Maharaj I want you to sit up and make yourself better right now he gets ਸਾਵਧਾਨ ਬਣ ਬੈਠੋ ਆਪ ਮਾਰ ਸਾਵਧਾਨ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬੈਠੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ
they've got that connection they've got the relationship
ਹਰ ਹੋ ਸ਼ਕਤ ਕੇ ਤਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ you got this fever you got this spots coming up ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਹੀ ਨਾਸ ਕਰੋ I can't see this and at the same time we have Guru Baksh Masant he was a Gursikh at the time after Pasha and the previous Gurus as well and this is what he's saying and he's seen everything from Satguru Maharaj in the previous forms ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕੌਣ ਕੌਣ ਹਮ ਕरें ਬਤਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੰਨੂੰ ਕਹਾਂ what example should I give ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਮ੍ਰਿਤਕ ਕੀਨ ਜੀਵ ਆਵਨ I've seen him make dead people come alive whether that's in your form whether in ਸੱਤਵੇਂ ਛੇਵੇਂ ਚੌਥੇ ਜਾਵੇਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬੇਦ ਜਗਤ ਮੈਂ ਛਪੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰਥ ਹੋਏ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ the whole world knows ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ it's not something to hide the whole world knows that ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰਥ ਹੋ
you've got all the powers ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪ
ਹਾਂ ਅਨੇਕ ਮ੍ਰਿਤਕ ਜੇ ਦਏ ਜਿਵਾਏ ਨਿਜ ਜੀਵਨ ਮੈਂ ਸੰਸੈ ਕਾਏ ਬਾਲ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਮ ਹੈ ਅਸਮੰਜਸ ਲਖ ਸਭ ਹਮ ਕਹੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ this is basic saying ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ hundreds and dead people seen you ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ made them come alive and this is where ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ they give response they finally ਪਹਿਲੋਂ ਚੁੱਪ ਚਾਪ ਰਹੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਬੋਲ the Gursikhs and they give the response ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਿਦਾਨ ਬਚਨ ਪੁੰਨ ਭੰਨਿਓ ਮੌਨ ਠਾਨ ਸਭ ਹਿੰਦ ਤਬ ਸੁਣੀ then everyone the moment Satguru Maharaj starts speaking everyone ਚੁੱਪ ਚਾਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ maybe Satguru Maharaj will listen to us see what happens है ना और again ਜਥਾ ਜੋਗ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੀ ਅਰਜ਼ੀ ਤੋ ਸੁਣੋ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਰਾ Hamre tan tyagan bahu karan. There's many reasons for me to leave my body at this age, at this place, because of this reason as well. ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਰਨ ਕਿ ਆਛੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਕਰਿਆ ਚਾਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸੀਏ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਗੋਪੀ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ and then they talk to Raja Jai Singh directly ਯਾ ਤੇ ਸੁਨੋ ਨਰੇਸ਼ਵਰ ਧਰੀਏ ਕਿ ਹੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਸੁਨੋ ਪਰ ਭਾਣੇ ਕੋ ਤਰਕ ਨਾ ਕਰੀ ਯਾਰ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਦਾ ਭਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੇਮ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ some scholars say that depending on which sources you read but though ਮੀਆਂ ਮੀਰ ਜੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ I've got the power on the Gursikhs ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ we can destroy the Mughals and everything ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਣਾ ਆ that's what ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਈਸ਼ਵਰ ਕੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਮੈਂ ਚੱਲੇ ਹਰਖ ਸਹਿਤ ਮਤ ਸੰਤ ਦੇ ਸਾਲੇ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਤ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਜਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਇਟਸ ਜਸਟ ਅ ਪਲੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਟਸ ਜਸਟ ਖੇਡ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਸਭ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਸ ਹੋਲ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਪਲੇ ਇਜ਼ਨਟ ਇਟ ਸਾਰਾ ਖੇਡ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਐਸ ਵੈਲ ਦਿਸ ਵੇ ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇ ਡੂ ਦ ਮੈਮ ਆਫ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਨੌਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਸਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ
because there's a bit of time after that after Maharaj leaves this world when Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj of nੌਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ get ਪ੍ਰਗਟ become established or not established but people realize that that's where the next guru is
exactly
there would have been a bit of a time between them too,
and this is why ਅੱਠਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਲੜ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ they say ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਭ ਖੇਰਾ so of course ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ the ਸਰੂਪ is different to what we have nowadays ਨੌਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਮਨ ਪੋਥੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਹਨ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੋ ਹਮਰੋ ਚਾਹੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੀਰਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ who wants my darshan ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ ਸੋ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਤਰ ਹੇਰਨ ਕਰੈ ਪਾਪਨ ਗਨ ਕੋ ਤਤ ਚਿਨਹਰੈ just as with my darshan ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ as you're saying all your dukhs have been destroyed ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਤਰ those that have ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਉਹੀ ਫਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ and that applies today ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
of course
they said ਹਮ ਸੋ ਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਜੋ ਚਾਹੇ and this is exactly what ਦਸਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ say when it comes to Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Gurgaddi.
This is Maharaj telling us right now and as well
exactly
the Maharaj is telling this right now
so everyone listening take this as if what we can do right now Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਮ ਸੋ ਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਜੋ ਚਾਹੇ those I want to talk with me ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੀ imagine that talking with Guru Harkrishan Guru Nanak Dev ਜੀ ਪਟ ਹੈ ਸੁਣ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਉਮਾ ਹੈ ਬਸ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਅਤੇ ਸੁਣੇ if you want to talk have that conversation with me ਤੇ ਇਸ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਓ ਜੋ ਕਰ ਹੈ ਕਮਾਵਨ ਚਾਰ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਲੈ ਮਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਕਮਾ ਲੂਗਾ he'll have the padarths of the spiritual world and the worldly pleasures as well ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ and then the final part Maharaj they talk about Shardha we keep talking about this this Maharaj's final words on Shardha
we didn't plan this we didn't plan the talk we've not planned this at all and look how Maharaj how why is it that Shardha's come up bar it's come up today loads
and this is the last bachan on Shardha ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਕੋ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਹੀ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਅਸ਼ਰਧਕ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੋਲ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ look at that it's literally saying what you see is what you get and we usually say this in all the camps with the kids and if you see Guru Granth Sahib Ji as a rumal le na ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਕੁਛ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਦੇਖ ਲਿਆ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਓ if you see them as a book if you read the Bani then maybe you get some knowledge if you see them as Guru Nanak themselves ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹੀ ਫਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ and this is what they finish off with ਤਨ ਸਦੀਵ ਥਿਰ ਹੋਏ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਜਾਣੋ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਜੇ ਧਾਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਸਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਰਿਦਾ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਗੁਰ ਕੋ ਲਿਹੋ ਜੋਏ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਇਟਰਨਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਨਾ but that's when they also give the Gurgaddi ਨੌਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ as well ਹੈ ਨਾ and they get the Sangat they call in they get thala with the ਪੰਜ coins you have the nariyal and ਮਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਕਰਮਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ and they say to the ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਸ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਗੁਰਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਬਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਨ ਗੁਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਕਲ ਸੰਭਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਜਾਣੋ ਅਗਲਾ ਗੁਰੂ and the reason they don't say the name and some of the ਸੰਗਤ get confused that who's going to be the guru they say ਬਾਬਾ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਲੀਨਸ ਤਿਸ ਬਿਆ ਕਵੀ ਜੀ ਸੇ they didn't say the name of ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਲਖਿਓ ਸਭ ਗੁਰੂ ਵੱਡੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ just as we don't say the name of our parents we don't say ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਵਜੋਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਬਕਾਲੇ ਬਸ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਣ ਗਏ that's everything that I have so far
So utthe in Delhi now there's is it Dukh Nivaran Sahib, Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj, is it Hana?
So in Delhi you got different asthans for Guru Harkrishan Ji, hai na? You got Bangla Sahib hai ga, Bala Sahib.
Bangla Sahib mein, sorry.
Bala Sahib jithe Joti Jot hoyi hai.
Bangla Sahib ji, yeah, utthe Sarovar, hai na, utthe, and that Sarovar was for because when there was epidemic utthe, people go and do snan there. Maharaj was put Charan in the pani, and even to this day, I think if you get a chance to go to Delhi and you go there, you can see loads of Sangat come there with loads of skin problems or whatnot. They'll go there and do ishnan in the Sarovar to get rid of the thingy. That's amazing. That's amazing, man. That itihas is amazing. I've never heard of Guru Harkrishan Ji Maharaj itihas in that much detail ever.
I'll be completely honest with you. I'm being transparent right now. I think all this podcast stuff is just an excuse.
Yeah, of course they're an excuse.
Get together and go through Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, bahana hi hai.
I don't care about this. ना कोई देखिया ना देखिया है ना. असली तो बस अपना फल लेना कि महाराज देखो गुरु दा जस है ना.
Yeah.
And Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll call it a day there then.
Yeah.
Sadi Sangatunu, everyone watching right now, guys, thank you so much for watching, listening. Please, like I said in between, that listen to it right to the end. That's when you get to know all of the itihas. Yeah. But take this away with you today. Maharaj has taught us about Shardha, how important Shardha is. Grow that Shardha by coming to Guru Sahib Ji. Maharaj will finish off in this, na? Ki Shri Harkrishan te ai hai, jis dithe sab dukh jaye. Boy, you get darshan of your Guru, then all your dukh will go away. If we made any mistakes, please forgive us. We'll join you on the next episode. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.